play it. You know what I mean? And that's what
Yeah.
WC did. I mean, he's on record. He's doing different things when he's playing this.
Mm-hmm.
He does all kinds of things in that piece that are way different than the actual score. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like notes too. He adds notes. He takes away notes. So you know,
Yeah.
the tradition is what we have now.
It's so
You know,
weird that like I
That's
don't
why we
know
don't have
of
anything new.
is there
right?
any
We have
genre at
tradition,
all
but we
that would be so stickler about the page being like the only information, the only reasonable like way of like creating the performance? Like is this I feel like classical is actually pretty unique in that.
it is. It's the only thing.
Is it Western music
Very
theory
different.
and
That
theorists that kind of perpetrated this? I don't even really know the history on all this.
It's
How
it's
much is that the issue?
it's the schools combined with recordings. So recordings, and
Mm-hmm.
then I would say competitions add to that too. So
Oh, ooh,
recordings.
competition's a huge factor for sure.
yeah,
Once you
right.
acquire enough recordings in your catalog over the century, things become standardized. People hear the same four or five things over and over. Rubinstein, Horowitz, Zimmerman, people like that, and eventually you have what we have now, which is everybody's trying to sound like that, basically that conservatory sound, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of that. I don't think anybody here is a fan of that.
I
They all
agree.
play the same. They're all trying to aim for that same exact
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
sound. The
even Horowitz
teachers are
said you
trying to
shouldn't
teach
be
that
like
way.
didn't Horowitz say like you shouldn't be a second Horowitz, you should be like a first you or something to that
Yeah,
effect.
Yes. Yeah,
yeah.
and
Play the way you feel.
this whole thing with when I was at Juilliard is that everyone was trying to fit into this box, and who says this is the best box, right? Like,
Well, there
and
shouldn't
who
be a
says
box.
that
I don't
you
think.
fitting into that box is the best version of your playing?
Right.
Like, these are all
Exactly. Yeah.
questions that no one that was just on deaf ears. Like, this was never even considered by so many.
So
It blew me away.
take that waltz, right? If you go to Juilliard, I guarantee you, not one of them will play it like this. They'll play it like this.
Yeah. The classic very slow inclines and declines.
And guess
And
My
what? And guess
teacher
what?
got on to me because I played it like this.
Chopin doesn't write that in the score. He says tempo giusto. That means at the correct tempo. It doesn't mean slowly.
and
My
And guess
teacher
what?
got
And yet they all do it that way because it's
yeah.
been standardized that way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one example.
Hmm.
Tempo. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean slowly.
my
And guess
teacher
what?
got
Or this one. Chopin wrote this at about this speed.
yeah.
That's the tempo he puts in the score. And people play it like this. Everybody plays it like this.
The hot dog.
It's half the speed.
Yum.
Yeah.
It's like, where'd that come from? You know?
Okay, so let's actually bridge that because there is definitely a topic of um what are you what does the music that you hear, the message you are receiving from the composer, how is that making you feel, right? And I think that this
Yeah.
is the sliding scale. Some performers, and I actually, when I teach lessons as well, I'll have students who are kind of on two camps. One camp is I want to be a vessel for the music. I want to embody what the composer wanted and the message
Mm-hmm.
as purely and as perfectly and as I want to be this perfect vessel for this perfect messenger. And then there's
Uh-huh.
people who are like, the music is going to make me feel something, and therefore I will play the music and whatever else that I am moved to do. And so then one is a performance that is a pure representation of the composer, and you are trying to stay out of the way of the composer to let the composer's music speak for itself as much as possible. And one
So
is
what do you
going
think?
and taking the music and be like, how does it make me feel? And my feelings are what people want to see. They want to see how this music makes me feel, and I'm going to express how I feel about the music. And then that
I have
becomes
a
a different message. And
I have
so,
a perfect
yeah.
idea of this. So like think of it this way. Like the music, maybe it's not supposed to be a picture in time of their emotion. Maybe it's a doorway to a set of emotions, right? Maybe that's why you
Mhm.
have people like Rachmaninoff play something different every single time. Is that it can be a doorway to different emotions, not a set canon every single time.
Well, it might be
Yeah.
performed differently because your in relationship with the music might change. Even the composer's relationship with the music might change. So actually, composer's
It does.
performance
Yeah.
of the music is
Yeah.
also a form of interpretation of how does my own music make me feel when I recall it,
Yeah.
or
Exactly.
recall the moment that the music represents. Um,
Hmm.
yeah,
I mean,
that's
this stuff
actually
is living. It's living and breathing. It's
yes.
alive, and if you put life into it, if somebody is really charismatic and brilliant at what they're doing, like somebody like Pogo Relish, he's different. He's weird, but it's so brilliant what he does. It's not what Chopin played, but it's so brilliant that I love it. So if you can breathe new life into a piece and it's your own and it works, it's convincing, then why would you not do that? Horowitz, same
I mean,
thing.
for sure. Why would you complain about? Why would you be like, this is wrong? That
Yeah.
like it's one thing to be like, this did not resonate with me, or this is not how I feel the music at all. These disagreements are fine, but it's when you go, this is the wrong way to play this music, that I think that is such a blatant way
Yeah, that's
of
true.
like it just discards nuance too much.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I
it's
think
obviously.
there is a level of like you're kind of just taking the music
But
somewhere
it's
else.
really
Like the music has become no longer the palette you're using is not relevant, or not
mhm.
coming through with the
It,
performance.
it,
But I think there's much
there
more
of
nuance
course
to sliding
is
scale.
there of course is a wrong way to do something. Like, if I
Hmm.
played it like this, that's obviously wrong. Um,
Yeah.
but within good taste, you have
Hmm.
options.
I would really think, consider that it really depends on what you're expecting, right? Like, if I want to go to a performance, that it's going to be like a historical performance of Mozart piano concerto in whatnot, right? I will expect a certain type of playing. I will not, in that
Yeah,
case,
sure.
accept as a viewer a romantic play style. You know what I
That's a
mean?
great point. That's a great point. I watched a Mr. Bean video talking about his the movie The Man and the Bee, and he was in an interview, and he was saying how people will like forget about the context. Like a joke in the joke that you would tell with your friends at a table is different from a joke you might say on NBC or on like CNN or something.
True,
So
true,
like
true.
because the
Yeah.
audience and the context that you're making the joke in is totally different. The vibe, the feel in the room at the time actually plays a really big role on how well a joke will land, what kind of joke how it will be received. And so I think that might be a factor that might be also not sometimes like you need to be thinking when you're a performer, well, how is your message going to be received? What audience, right? So you might go to a concert expecting a very authentic performance of like whatever might be a certain expectation. So that expectation, and if your expectations are subverted, it might be funny or it might feel bad or so this is at play totally.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, if I was going to perform Chopin around a crowd, I would probably try to have a little more nobility to my playing and not like I'm lax with you guys, because I'm playing in a
Hmm.
lax way,
Hmm.
you know. Like I
I'm gonna
wouldn't be
try to find
rolling
that.
every chord, If I was playing for a crowd, I wouldn't be rolling every chord like I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't add all these trills and stuff too that I do.
I mean, yeah,
I would
but you
try to
can.
get it.
I think, especially in Chopin or like late romantic music in that
Yeah.
sense, you definitely can because it was performative practice as well.
Well,
That
see,
would
I don't
be
think just you can. I think you should.
You should.
yeah,
The
And
thing is that
right.
audiences might take offense to it though.
Yeah, the
well, they
Too
might,
much.
but
expectation,
that's
what
the
is the
whole reason we're
Yeah,
in
expectation?
this boat in
exactly.
the first
Because they're
place.
paying
Because
money,
yeah.
Mm.
But think about it. That's the whole reason we're in this boat in the first place. Is people decided that these things can't be changed, and then
True.
that
people started
that
listening to that,
that definitely
and
goes back to
now we have
commercialization.
this issue.
Like
Yeah.
if people are paying money, that as an argument is immediately going to how commercialized is the performance. I mean, I
Yeah.
think again, commercialization is always going the opposite direction, is pulling things in the opposite direction from like what
Definitely.
an artist is interested in pursuing most of the time.
Right.
Almost in every way, I would argue that. Um, I definitely want to find that Mr. Bean vid and show you guys. It's wild. Um, his takes are so good. because he's just a genius.
Well, see, this is like a cascading effect, right? Like when everyone starts playing the same, no one has to think unique anymore. No one has to think of what do I need to do different. So then you
It's
get
about
where no one
numbers.
starts creating
That's true.
either. It's a
That's
cascading
true.
effect.
Yeah, you think less, therefore you are not
Yeah.
being thoughtful with your decisions and things, and so
Yeah,
then
it's like, why do I need to think? He wrote it on the page
he
for me. I
wrote it
just
for
play
me.
it.
He did the
Yep.
thinking for me. I just execute the notes, man. Like I'm just doing my job. Leave me alone, you know.
There you go. But if you
Yeah,
say, okay,
yeah,
now you come up with yours on the fly in that style, you
Yep,
can't do it.
yep,
You know, it's
Yep.
very much Shakespeare. Everything is calculated and cold. And forgive me if any actor is hearing this and they're going, "That's not how we do it," because maybe you don't do it that way. Maybe you do perform it differently each time. But I feel like they probably would try to calculate that. I'm not sure.
I mean, it
Mhm.
really depends. Also, isn't competitions something? I mean, competitions is something I would want to watch. It feels very commercial, but it's also, I mean, you gotta like for competitions, you gotta set guidelines or some things you can like actually grade and see how
That's
someone
correct,
is
yeah.
better or worse in something they're doing. You know what I mean?
Which is why they're bogus, you know.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't do competitions either. I don't watch them. I don't take part in them.
Because think about it, reality didn't set guidelines for Chopin or Liszt or any of these
We
people.
did.
And then,
Yeah.
oh, you're right, we did. But what I mean is, like, we still decided, oh, they're the best, even though they weren't necessarily playing exactly what they wrote down, exactly how it's
Newspaper
written.
rings.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah, so
interesting?
commercial success of something doesn't just because something is commercially successful doesn't mean that everything about it is what made it commercially successful is a completely different conversation than what is successful. Like what about it? There could be something that is not, that great. There might be something that has some elements that aren't that great about it, but because of the context it was in, maybe it just blew everything out of the water because by contrast to everything that was existing at the time, it just blew everyone away. It just, it's the halo effect, right? You're not gonna really get a
Yeah,
clear
yeah,
image,
right.
and then looking back later, you might get a more clear image of like, oh, like maybe this was overhyped. Like who knows? Like but and then maybe it's no longer hyped. Not that it wasn't overhyped. Maybe it was hyped properly because of the context it was in. It was incredible, and now the context has changed and how something ages. People talk about art like, oh, that aged wonderfully or that aged super poorly. That's what they're talking about. Is that factor at play?
About something mildly offensive someone said on Twitter. The police panic and they reach for section 5. On against council.
Oh yeah, I found the interview. It's in the video that someone was talking about Mr. Bean. I'll get this gun. Let me know if this works for you guys. Oh, and lurk the stream so we get the, definitely lurk the stream if you're here.
Right.
I do like having that as a rule because it just helps discovery and all that.
We can hear your voice in your stream.
We have
By
to do
sharing
that,
your
that's fine.
screen, you should definitely not share your screen. You should share your browser.
I thought.
It's
Is
like
this
feeding
not?
back
What
from
about
the-
now?
Now it's
No.
working. Yeah, now it's good.
Now it's good. And if I press play,
Because there's going to be some prick
you guys can hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
out there that gets offended by it.
You know, I'm a great believer
You should add
that
it to
we
your
must
stream
have
as well.
free
Oh,
Oh, it's not playing yet because I muted the stream side. Let me test the.
Some prick out there
It's on the loud.
that gets offended by it.
Oh, now it's playing as opera. Oh, it is opera. Okay. Let me turn it down just a bit.
You know, I'm a great believer that we must have free expression, and in comedy you must be able to make jokes about absolutely anything. I mean, the only question is you would be wise to choose a context in which it's going to be appreciated, because not all jokes suit all contexts. You know, the joke you tell around a table in a restaurant with some friends is not necessarily something for primetime TV. You know, that's a pretty obvious statement, but you'd be surprised how people like to abuse the context of comedy. And people often say, you know, did you hear that joke that comedian said in that Netflix special? You know, did you think that was right or wrong? And all I say is, I wasn't there. I haven't heard the joke. I wasn't in the audience when the comedian said it. I don't know what the atmosphere was in the room. If people pay to see a comedian, they've got to accept whatever they provide. I'm a great believer that artists should never apologize for their art.
That Malcolm X quote.
That's actually
Damn.
that does combat the whole you're paying with an expectation. Maybe that's bad. Maybe was it not showing the video? Oh, it wasn't showing the video. But yeah, maybe that's bad. Maybe the expectation you should just accept that whatever you get, you get. Like you've decided what artist you want to see and
Yeah.
you know, and then you just
Well,
and then the artist
here's the
shouldn't
thing.
feel like they owe a specific whatever, like they owe to the audience to give them exactly what they expect. Like isn't that kind of that conformity whole thing of like, and then I feel like that is kind of what invades classical genres
Here's
sometimes.
the thing: is you're paying for their interpretation, not your idea of their interpretation.
Exactly, that's it.
So if you want your interpretation, hear their interpretation.
That's right. That's right.
That's
You're
my
just gonna have to deal with it. I'm sorry. You know.
Right.
I actually do like that. I think that protects the artists and it promotes the artists to be more, to be more, just brave and feel free to again
Yeah.
make a joke about anything, like what he said. I should feel allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
And they can not like it, right? Like that's
and that's
fine.
fine.
People
And
can
maybe
not
you
like it.
don't land a joke very well, and you know that's kind of your prerogative, and then they might not come back and see you again later in the future, and that's also up to them. But dividing those responsibilities, I think, is really healthy. The responsibility of the performer is to just do what they feel is right, and it's the responsibility of the audience to just let you know how it made them feel, and that's all there is. You know, don't cross the two lines. Don't have the audience be like, you owed me that interpretation that I had in my head of what you were gonna do on the stage today. You owe me that experience that I am emotionally attached to, and for the performer shouldn't feel like, oh, you owe to like what I've done because you've liked what I've done before, and you and I'm doing the same thing again, and you have to like what I do now, which is actually what, like in the gaming industry, like big gaming companies will make these AAA, quadruple A games and go like, well, you guys said you liked this. Why do you guys not like what we made? We made the same thing again, and you guys have to like it. It's the audience's fault for not liking our art. It's like, no, now you're crossing the boundary the other way. Like this is not how it works, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
We need Hansi emotes in chat.
Hansi emotes. Ugh. By the way, now that I'm like whatever for like you can get like Twitch Prime subscription, I can get emotes on. And I've been looking at some emotes that I could put in.
Should
One was
definitely
like
put some-
this, and then well, you guys can't see.
This
If
I
I
can
do,
yeah.
I was gonna turn on the wrong camera. Can I do the virtual camera without fucking up the? I can. Oh, that's perfect. I should just do
So
that.
you can just stream and always change an OBS, and we see
I can
what
just
you-
virtual camera the OBS, so it's exactly what the stream sees but live.
Oh, nice.
But then you don't get the audio, which is okay because then I can just stream the audio of whatever I want to stream. That's perfect. There, you guys can actually see the stream live without delay.
That's nice.
Genius. I forgot my thought. That's okay.
It's fine.
Well, I'll message you this first.
Oh, the emotes. One of them is gonna be like this maybe, and then like I don't know, the laughing lol kind of. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
for
I looked at some podcasts and I took some pics or caps some moments.
Bro, Stardew Valley music is pretty good actually, by the way. There's been some nice tracks in there.
I saw a live performance of the Stardew music and the guy who wrote the Stardew music playing his own stuff
USA
with like a band.
privileges.
Yeah, US West.
check what I just
Oh,
sent you in
okay, okay,
Discord.
We
okay.
got great classical
Arie.
concerts. We got the
Or you
famous
could type
people.
it in the chat. Okay, I'm just kidding. But you're literally here. You could just ask me.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it, so I just sent it to you
Okay, let me
instead,
see.
just in case.
Is it the piece you wanted to talk about? Like
Oh yeah. So this may
Something
may
he
have not
mentioned
been.
earlier.
This was before we went live or something. Yeah. No, I'm totally happy to talk about it again. That's a big part of like. I think that's something that's unique about my experience was that I did 3 years and then I left because I was unhappy. And one of the things that I
Right.
was kind of hoping for was this, where like people are just playing music, just chatting,
Mhm.
just like think like
Yeah.
Greek philosophers just hanging out, like
Right.
and discussing and engaging about these things and different things. And so it's like
Mhm.
that's what I was hoping to get out of Juilliard. I was like, oh my gosh, Juilliard, there's going to be all these people who are extremely good at what they do already, and they just want more of it, and they want to collaborate maybe, and they want to like discuss it and everything. And I mean, maybe I've gotten like a tiny bit of that with like maybe a couple people once in a blue moon, but just basically none. I almost got none of that. I don't know.
Wow.
It might have
Yeah.
been my like I don't know. I feel like my EQ was not great. I had some issues I was still sorting out with like just I had problems that I had on my mind that might have
Mhm.
restricted my ability to find the openings for that. But I don't know. Like I just yeah. That was
I
something
mean,
I just missed, and
they
I wanted that, and so I didn't get it, so I left and was looking for it
I
somewhere
don't know how
else.
much that
I found it on Discord.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much that tracks,
Incredible.
but it definitely is something that I feel like a lot of people in the mainly instrumental courses in my university do experience as well, right?
Mhm,
My teaching degree that I did, it was pretty okay, right? We were pretty, I mean, we
mhm,
were the social people in that regard. We did all the party planning, we did a lot of collaborative projects and set those in motion. It was like the conductor of an orchestra in a way, right? That's what we kind of were teaching, but not conducting, but more like how to manage children, right? But it's the
mhm,
same, like same.
mhm,
So yeah, I do feel like that the social aspect and all that stuff was more present in my course of study, but I do think that it's a lot harder to do outside because it's outside of that if you do instrumental courses because you get like work and like projects you got to do. You can choose between like a few projects every semester, and it's also like most of your life. It's just the performative act of music as well, which maybe discourages you in a way. I don't know how
Um,
the
so
connection
I
goes
can
as
definitely
well.
speak on that. I think it's more, it's not even really just music schools. It's not as a broad term of like music schools. Juilliard specifically is just so
Mhm.
insanely competitive, being in the center of
Mhm.
New
Sure.
York City, um, that the competitiveness makes it so that people are like competing. They look for what is the most, I guess, like hardest thing to get the spot in, like winning a
Mhm.
first prize in a competition, and what on paper, therefore, if I am like, you're already one in whatever thousands, whatever plus, right, to get into
Mhm.
Juilliard. So now the question is, well, where are you on the Juilliard ladder? And
Right.
so now it's like, well, now I'm trying to compete for how high up the ladder I can be, and in that
Mhm.
measuring contest with like competitions. And so then everyone's goal is the same, which is like so boring in a way,
Right.
because it's like if everyone's goal is the same, then it doesn't become art anymore. There's no expression in that, other than now you're talking about speed running versus like creating something that's art. The
Yeah.
freedom is
See,
missing. The
and that's
whole
pointless. It's pointless
yeah.
to me, right? A computer can play it
Okay,
perfectly every
I
single
was
time.
first, right? I got
What?
first. What did you now what? Like
Right now, what? Yeah. What
I
else
don't
is there?
know. Like it's something about that just seems like it just was hitting a totally different direction. The min maxing is just in the direction that just didn't make any sense to me. Um,
Mhm.
and I think that it's not all schools. That's not strain playing. That is just the competitive environment, the community, or just that that context that I was in drove that
Yeah.
kind of perception of what's important. Um,
Mhm.
which was not what was important to me. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
makes
yeah.
sense.
I hope that answered your
Yeah.
question, Hansi.
Yeah,
'Cause,
definitely.
yeah.
For sure. That's pretty much what I expected from what I've seen. Not going myself, but just
Mm,
watching from the outside as well.
yeah. The practice rooms are pretty depressing. Like they're tiny,
Oh
they're
yeah,
old,
bro.
they're not like
Uh,
it's just like you go to Europe and you get a concert hall to yourself to practice in. At Juilliard you get like a cubicle. It's like
I mean, it
that
really depends
affects
on
your
where you are,
emotional
right?
state of like how
It
you're
does.
it's
It
like, oh,
does.
you are nothing, you have yet to like,
Yeah.
it just you just feel different, and how you feel is
This
like
is your
everything.
workplace now.
Like
You
that
stay 4 hours here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
the whole point is how you feel. I don't know, like
Yeah.
it's like all of the things that I would think would be optimized at a school like this are like none of the things that anyone is even discussing. Could forget optimizing
Right.
for. Like it's just wild. The optimization is the commercialization. That is what everything's being
Yeah.
optimized around, is commercialization. We want the big titles on the news articles. We want to be seen as this top school that pumps out these
Right.
cookie cutter incredible players and technique,
Yep.
and it's anything that you can that is obvious to a surface level viewer of like the arts, someone who
Mhm.
isn't an artist, let's say. What is obvious to them as an objective measurement of ability is what Juilliard is
Mhm.
basically, I think, min-maxing to get the most
Yeah.
I don't know, like favor with audiences with.
Mhm.
And it's like, but then that means that we're optimizing for commercialization, and which is again it goes in the opposite direction of what an artist really cares about, I think. Or what I
Definitely.
think of as an
Does.
artist caring about something.
Yeah, I
I
would
mean,
agree.
I feel that that is a common experience, right? It's
Yeah.
definitely a common experience. Yeah.
Mhm. For sure.
I can show you
Yeah,
guys
well, it's
the
the main
emotes.
reason
Hold on,
I
wait.
always wondered why my brother didn't go to school for piano, because he's significantly better than I am.
Sorry, Joel.
And
There we
that's
go.
basically what he told me. Was
Mm-hmm.
that what you just said?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. He can you say that again? Sorry. What about your?
yeah. I was asking my brother like, what
Oh.
why didn't you go to like go to like Jacobs and
Mm-hmm.
study piano performance and stuff here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I don't want any part of that, basically.
Yeah.
Like
As,
sucks the soul out of it, pretty much.
Yeah, and then like
Mhm.
I remember I remember I was talking, I think we were hanging out with Ben. I came by like one of the discords with
Yeah,
Ben, and he's like a younger kid
sure.
who has very ambitious projects, like these giant compositions and things, and
Right.
is very clearly very passionate and has something he wants to do with it, but he was just absolutely just, it wouldn't even compute when I told him that I don't even have an undergrad degree. Like it
Yeah.
didn't even click. Like he just assumed that because I can talk the way I do about music, and maybe I seem like I have things put together in my head, or an idea
Oh,
of
I know.
how
Yeah.
I am expressing, or my way of with music. He just assumed that I already had a master's degree, which just tells you how much that what actually matters. It tells you
Exactly.
what
And I
actually
have
is the
people
brass
ask me that all the
tacks
time.
with this. It's not the
Like
paper.
every
The paper doesn't matter. The paper
I
matters
know, I
in
know.
corporate. It matters in commercial. It does not matter in whether the audience will connect with what you're doing. um
Right.
And it
Exactly.
doesn't really tell how good an artist is, truly, does it? Not at all. I mean, like commercially, truly, it does. I mean, you could argue. But also then, right? I feel like the best artists are the ones who don't come out of a commercial background in that sense. Like,
I mean, how many dropouts are like huge
yeah,
successes? Steve Jobs.
like,
How, by
yeah,
the way,
even in
Hans Zimmer
comedy.
is a dropout too, I'm pretty sure. Or at least he went to a bunch of schools, and he
Yep.
got kicked out of like a bunch of schools, like over 10
You know the
schools,
most
because
the
all he
most
wanted to do
insane
was
thing.
play piano. He didn't want to do anything. From an interview that I saw, I could find it. He was like, all I want to do is play piano. I don't care about anything else. So I would just fail everything else that didn't involve me playing piano.
You know the
So
most insane thing is I'm pretty sure Chopin was mostly self-taught, except
yeah.
except for like one teacher he had pretty much like later on, like after he was already pretty insane. Like
Did
it's
you
crazy.
did you guys today found out there was a movie called was it, yeah, Project Hail Mary, which is a new space movie. I don't know who made
Hans
the
Zimmer is one of
soundtrack,
the
but
most.
apparently it sounds a lot like the Interstellar soundtrack. Doesn't have anything to do with it, but uh,
Mm. If you link it. We could take a look. I am jumping on a. Well, just
I
to
don't
throw
know
the
the
beat
song,
off for a
right?
second, I'm gonna show this. Sure.
We'll see what you got.
Here's an emote, the lol emote, potentially.
Nice.
Is it this one? Yeah, okay, whatever. So, and then the whoops is one that was like, that was a funny moment. Like,
That was
like,
great.
oh.
That is good.
Oh, wow.
That is
And then
great.
the, like, yes, duh,
Yes.
kind of
Yes.
like emote.
That's funny.
Those were the three that I found from just like
Nice.
looking through it. Yeah. So those could be emotes.
The,
How do you guys
the
feel about those?
mantis.
Are
Yeah,
those
I like the
spammable?
blue one. Yeah.
You should wear a tie while you take the pictures as well. Make it
Yeah,
authentic.
I thought about that. Like, oh, musical ties. But the thing is, if I start making it a thing that I wear a tie, then I have to wear a tie every time, which
That is
You
I
could
don't
wear
know.
a shirt. You could just wear a shirt with a tie on it.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
but I don't want to.
Right.
Then I'm
You
like,
don't wanna do it.
then I have to do this shtick, and it's like the expectations back to fucking. You know what I mean? You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a statement that musical ties does not wear a tie.
Yeah.
It is a
no
statement.
ties.
That's why I wear colorful socks to concerts. I'm allowed to wear colorful socks too.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, there's this. Speaking of like permission, I gotta show you guys this quick book. One of my books on my shelf here is this book, Doug. You guys know DougDoug, the streamer, maybe
And yeah, I know
YouTube
DougDoug
videos.
for his
He's pretty funny, great
Skyrim
comedy
videos.
stuff.
Yeah, great
So
stuff.
he has a book called Doug, a DougDoug story, and it has this stuff in the back as well, like a foreword or whatever. Exactly 1,000 books have been written across history, each one a devastating failure. So every year, Twitch chat prays for a new book. They plead for anyone, to turn their insatiable desire for spamming words into literary form. And for millennia, their prayers went unanswered until now. So this book is quite literally just the word Doug the entire way through the entire book. The only word in this
No.
entire book is Doug.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Now, this actually, so he basically did an entire promo video, like featuring the book and all this stuff, like all this fakeness to create a fake book. Now, all the proceeds went to like wildlife donation or something, so it was not like a actual sham or anything. But but the idea was the message that now he could say, because he won an award in like as a Twitch streamer, and he could say that he's an award-winning writer, author,
Oh my god.
published author because it's published. So he could
That's
go
so
to a
good.
table of like people who are old who might value something like this and go, oh, I am a award-winning published author, and they'll go, oh wow, that's amazing, and then he can link them to the book. But of course, if they read literally any sentence in even the description, it'll tell them that the only word in here is Doug. So he's open about it, but it's like, you know, and it's really great. Like you get like chapters like this where it's like heartbreak, Doug, so it's like it's very like expressive as well, and some chapters are also Alon Winter. I'm pretty sure that's might be the first chapter or similar to the first chapter of like Game of Thrones, and I think the way that the paragraphs are kind of line up with like certain famous books as well. The meaning of
crazy.
life, Doug.
Doug.
That's it. how to hide a body in your boss's office. Just all
Wow.
caps, Doug. So it's really fun. So that was like I like this. So I bought the book because I like the message of that, like, what does it even mean? Like, published author doesn't mean anything, but maybe you
Yeah.
have to do it, or you feel compelled, like you have to do it because convention is like, oh, but if you have that, you get taken seriously. Like,
Yeah.
it's like now I get to be taken seriously as a Twitch streamer, like, for him. So it's like, I don't know. I just
Wow.
found that really fascinating. And it's all a sham. It's all perception. It's all contextual. It's all relative. Yeah, that's something that, like,
Yeah.
I'll say one last thing. Like, something be relative has I've looked for when I was younger, I looked for absolute rules on like how things work and everything for so long, and it really I was very stubborn, but I learned that context really is almost more important than everything else in some sense.
Yeah.
At least like context can completely reorder and all the priorities of what you think is important and not. It can completely reshape everything. Just full send on every level. It's just crazy. It's crazy how much context plays a role. And I thought for the longest time I never considered context at all, and then it just completely changed my my perception of things.
For sure. That's what I would say.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Did you have any of those other ones we wrote down the other day? I can't remember them now.
Oh yeah, sure. Oh, so the Hans Zimmer thing I found. Hans, did you want to show something as well?
No.
Okay, because you mentioned something. Let me see if I can find. I might jump around. So it'll be a kind of a whatever. Oh, you guys can see the stream. Perfect.
Yes.
And then I do this.
Could
so
do
you guys
show
can
and tell
see.
with music.
So
Hans Zimmer interview.
Rick Beato, Hans Zimmer.
This thing is
Oh,
set in the
okay, really?
future. It's science fiction. Let's
When
just
did this
go
come out?
and then
So
my
he talks about Dune.
late friend Chaz Smith, who was
Maybe
a
How old
is this?
absolute
This is a year ago.
Oh.
March of last year. So a bit over a year.
piece of art. Kept, for instance, software synthesizers. 90% of what I do is done on one software synth, and I've been.
Okay.
I'm not a big, analog versus digital guy. I'm just going. If it sounds good, it sounds good. I don't
We
care.
definitely can't hear it in
Hardware
Discord,
is
but I can hear it in the
amplifies
Twitch.
the player. I mean, you have amplified by this.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's fantastic.
What's interesting, the people that you just chose off the top of your head, Stevie Ray and Jeff Beck and Mark Knopfler, they're very different players.
Yes, but I love them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to like sift through this for a while. Okay, so how about let me go find the question. I'll let Arie let you go off maybe a little bit. Let's see.
Wait, you wrote down questions for this?
For Arie, yeah, we were planning actually to chat.
Yeah.
To kind of feature maybe.
Yeah, some pretty good
Because
topics.
Arie, you ask great questions.
Thank you.
That's for sure.
Think a lot.
Yeah. It's like very thought provoking. It activates something for me where I go, oh, there's a million directions I could go with this. Do you have 10 hours? You ask me like you say
Right.
one sentence, I go
10 hours later.
Yep, pretty
Yeah.
much. Shit. I lost can I get the filter back? I want it to be appearance. Dark mode. Oh, bless. Okay. So one thing you mentioned at one point, a good way back, was intuitive writing versus thought-driven writing, which I think was literally your first question when you showed up on one of the streams. And I was like, what a fantastic question. But I don't know how much I've gotten an answer from you other than maybe a couple sentences, really. So, I mean, we went into it a little, but yeah, would be curious to hear. You talk about maybe where that comes from, like your question on that, like what are your thoughts on all that? So intuitive writing versus thoughtful writing.
I would say it plays, like for me, it plays into more of the improv strength, right? Rather than like theory. So, like, I mean, I'm logical, but I like trying to improv and almost discover these ideas rather than create them. That's what I would
Yeah.
say.
Because we have had a topic at one point where we talked about how like the discovery of the unknown is kind of the whole point. Like an artist's
Yeah.
journey ends once you have gotten to the end result of a project. Once the project
Right.
is done, that's it. Or once something has been solved or figured out, that's it. Now you're like, okay, well, what's
Exactly.
something that isn't figured out? I want to try something
hmm
that hasn't been done. What if we mix this together that no one's tried yet? What happens?
hmm
Right, the
Yeah.
discovery of the unknown is the point. That is where the artist will always, I feel like, usually go to. Whereas like
hmm
a someone yeah, so that whole like discovery and adventurousness of like intuitiveness,
I
intuition
think
is something we don't quite completely understand anyway, as is.
hmm
Yeah.
I personally think that both of them should like. I mean, both of them, if they both work together, I think it produces the best music, right? Because people who are
Yeah.
knowledgeable about a topic to such a degree that it becomes intuition, that the
Ooh,
music
yeah.
is just right.
Exactly. You're right.
It's like the sublimeness you find in some of the best composers we know come from exactly that.
It's a
Well,
marriage
their
of the two.
vocabulary is good.
They have the tools of the music figured out in a way, and they know very deeply and profoundly how to express themselves on a sheet of paper, or like not just on a sheet of paper, in their music, right? So like you get
Yeah.
the tools. It's like you dive into muddy water, but you get like a heat-seeking camera or something, right? It's like right. It's like
Mhm.
you know what you're looking for, but you're not really sure how to find it yet, right? You get the way, and you get the better tools to get there through intuition in a way.
True.
I mean, that's my thought on it, to be honest. I think
No, I think you're
intuition is
right.
something lovely that can get you into the thought process of, oh, maybe I want to find out something about this, and then
Mhm.
at some point you learn about it, you execute it, and it becomes a habit, which then is the intuition, right? That plays here.
Yeah, the bigger your vocabulary is, the better your expressions will be, and you won't have to think
Yeah,
about it. You just do it
that's
that way because it's your
line of effect
vocabulary.
is like
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, it's
Like
kind of
you.
like talking. Like we don't think, oh, I need to say this word
Yes.
next. We just
Yes.
say
Yeah.
it.
That is exactly what I was gonna go to next. Was like speech is the same. Like if you have more access to more words, you still might use intuition to say to
hmm
with your thoughts, but like the words you might choose to better express your thoughts, that is the skill part that it
The
might
skill
not
part.
be that intuitive is. I would say talent is probably the thing that allows for that to be solved without
Right.
needing the technique. So like the more
Right.
talented you are, the less technique will need to assist you in getting you over that line or
So,
min-maxing out that element.
so that's a good example. This might be a little controversial, but I people always tell me I'm talented. You know, people that don't play piano or whatever.
Mhm.
And it's like I don't believe talent exists. This is what I think talent.
Ooh.
This is what I think
Okay.
talent is. I
Debate.
think
Okay,
it
I have a
is.
great
No,
rebuttal to that, but go ahead. What is
okay, okay,
talent?
but I'll tell you. I think
Wait, it doesn't
talent is
exist, then what is it?
simply.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, okay? People think it's some innate ability that you can do things other people can't. I think it's
Uh-huh.
just the ability to push through the difficulty of doing the thing. For me, like I just played it simply until I could play it.
Yeah, so
I I always looked at
that's
it that
actually
way.
really close to my definition. So the way I define,
Mhm.
because I've thought a good bit about talent,
Like you're
because as
interested
a
in it
teacher,
enough to keep going, basically.
so as a teacher, I look at students, and different students have more or less talent. So what is the sliding scale for talent? If
hmm
I tell a student, hey, try this or do this, and how much is like them trying a new technique? Let's say they hold the bow or they're going to
Yeah.
do something. Like how much of that they naturally um, are able to solve themselves without having to think about it, without having to anything to be explained? How much of that
Mm-hmm.
is how much of the work that it would take to have a perfect bow hold is done automatically, and how much is
hmm
left over to do? The less there is left over to do to refine your technique, the
hmm
more talented you are. So the talent is just
hmm
skipping work. It's not
hmm
your abilities are different. It's that you are able to inherent abilities.
Yeah.
You're so much faster or you're
So-
you're skipping more of that hard work that someone else might have to do to make up that distance. So the less talented you are, the more of the gritty work you might have to do to make up the distance that someone who's talented never even experienced.
Yeah. That's a really good way of putting it, really. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
I like to think about talent more as of what is it called? Not aptitude. Oh my god, I just had the word. So I I lost my thought. Give me a
Competence.
second. No, no, potential, right? Yeah, potential.
Potential.
That's what I was thinking. Potential, right? So it like develops, right? You might be born with like a good sense of rhythm, or maybe some sort of good ear in a sense, right? To some aptitude, but not truly. What makes the talent or the potential you have truly work is consistent practice, or just getting into the instrument or whatever you want to
Well,
do.
of course,
Because
you need
you,
skill.
you're
But
not
talent is
born with the
real.
muscle memory, right? It's like
Talent is definitely real, and I don't think we're all made the same. So, some
yeah, you
people
will have.
things are easier for them out the gate. That's just how it is.
I think
Mathematics too. You can ask.
one of the
I
biggest
think I
I've
just
known
like
kids who are 5 years old who are math geniuses. And it's like, how do you know how to do that? It's because their brain works that way, and that's talent. That's what talent is.
It's like intuitive.
You can-
Something just
yeah.
intuitively clicks for you, whereas it might not
Yeah.
be. It might take way more work for it to click for someone else. And that time you're saving, the more talent you have, the more like that those connections that you're trying to obtain are being
It's the
obtained
easy
way
meter.
more intuitively and quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And that's the thing with the potential, Hansi, you were saying potential. I think that actually feeds into this. So like if someone is an artist who is so talent plays a role at first for skipping the work that it would take to get to the state of the art of something, like the state of the art of playing a musical instrument. So let's say,
Mhm.
and then but discovery. So now if you're trying to discover new things that no one has ever done, or you're trying to write music that no one's ever written, let's say, the talent is now going to boost you also in that direction too. Now it's not as obvious when that talent is craziness versus genius, right? That is up to debate on how the music is going to be interpreted, and that's retroactively that people then make that kind of like judgment. But it's like the talent is going to push you to like basically solve things that no one solved yet potentially quicker. You might have because you've been able to grab the things that we know so far so quickly. What's to say that you won't be able to grab something no one's grabbed yet way quicker than everyone else? So then you should almost trust people that have maybe talent to pick up the things that we've refined down to a science, if in some way, to then be able to also be really apt at discovery and that of
Yeah.
the unknown. So you get the advantage in those
Yeah.
areas too, I think.
I think talent dictates kind of what a person's ceiling is, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah. So I've always had the thought, like,
Yeah.
High
I've
talent
never.
is like you
I
have
would
a
argue you can learn
potential for a
anything.
high ceiling.
Here's
I
the
would.
thing, like, the reason I don't like talent, or don't necessarily even believe in it, is because I've always had the idea that you can do anything. If you spend enough time, enough dedication, you can do literally anything.
That's a separate
And
question.
that might sound crazy, but wait, what'd you say?
Well,
But that's a separate question. I mean that can be true, and at the same time, some people can do things more easily and faster, and that's what talent is. So
I think it's a
somebody with more
game
talent
of cat and
can
mouse,
achieve the
right?
same goal faster and easier.
It's a
So
game of
somebody who's
game.
good at math,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's a game of cat and mouse. I was gonna say, where basically
Yeah.
like the people who are talented are the mouse, and the people who are less and less and less are further behind, chasing after that. So I think you're eventually just whatever point in time you're at, maybe a talented person will be further ahead than someone who's less talented. But eventually, the person who's less talented will make up that distance with skill and technique and whatever stuff. And we also retroactively are looking at talented people and going like, how would you solve this if you weren't that person? How would you do this
Yeah.
if you weren't that person? And so then whatever that is, the teachers are what they're, the teaching evolution of that is what's carrying people so that they don't need talent to accomplish the same things. And I do think that anything a talented person could do can be also solved and be done by someone who does not have the same inherent ability. So yeah,
I
I
do
think
have to
that talent
disagree
is
though.
not
I have
a
to go
full
beyond there.
barrier. No, you don't think
What'd you say,
so?
Bill?
I don't actually believe that. I mean, it's not a popular thing to say, but I don't think you can take an average person through training, make them the genius that Beethoven was, or Chopin, or Einstein. There's extra there. There's something extra in the
Okay.
brain that if you have a high ceiling, and you have a huge amount of talent, your ceiling is high, and somebody who might not have the potential
Mm.
naturally to get there, the work isn't going to get them there. You'll get good, but you won't become Einstein. You won't become Beethoven
So
if it's not there.
define Beethoven, right? Like Beethoven was able to blow away people in the context that he lived in, right? He wrote the music that he wrote and it blew people away. Now, if you move the context to later, when we've analyzed how Beethoven wrote music and someone learned the tools that Beethoven used and then wrote music that was similar to how Beethoven wrote the music, like, you know what I mean?
Well, you're
Like you
saying
can't
similar.
use
You're saying similar. Okay, put it this way. Take somebody who's
mm,
an average person. Okay, they're average. Um,
So
Train them as much as you can. Are they going to be able to write something as profound as what he did?
I think
Well,
the
here,
The answer
unknown
is no.
discovery of unknown, I will give you that talent, the advantages that a more talented person might have to discover the unknown that hasn't been treaded, the untreaded paths. I do think that like someone like Beethoven was
Why we're
treading an
talking about
untreaded
Beethoven?
path, right?
Yeah.
So he showed us that path and then we followed, right? But the discovery, like who is someone competing against Beethoven to tread a new path through like say like establishing a new maybe like chapter in music evolution or something like that is something that yes I do think talent has a huge advantage overall, more and less depending on how much, but I think that yeah, but if you're just talking about purely skill acquisition, I do think that there is no ceiling difference between somebody. It's just a
What
matter of
about
time, not a
creatively? I mean,
matter of if. Yeah,
there's a reason why
creatively.
we talk
Yeah,
about these
creatively
people is
is
because they're
well,
different,
special.
obviously you can't
maybe.
be another person, right? Like,
Yeah.
so
So I
And
mean, so
that's
there's a
also
reason why we talk about.
subjective. That's subjective whether that's the whole thing, right? That's why I said like if someone were to write a piece of music and they're supposedly a genius, they're going to tread in somewhere, they're going to see a target that no one else can see. But is that target going to, what is it? Well, talent versus I mean that's the sort of words that are kind of mixed up in that example where talent can hit a target no one else can hit, but genius can it hits a target that no one else can see. But like
yep.
if we use the talent in the no one else can see category, let's say talent is a target that no one else can see, whether once they hit that target, whether because and no one else has hit it and they did, whether that will work is I think up to debate, and it worked for Beethoven, but there are people who are less talented. There are artists who are extremely talented who don't produce music that is better than people who are less talented. I don't think this is a one-to-one ratio that more talent produces better results when it comes to art, because the
Well, what do you
contextual
mean by talent? Physical talent or creative talent? Because those are
creative,
two
you're
different.
asking about creative right
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
you're talking about
yeah,
creativity, right? uh,
yeah.
I'm following your
Of
path.
course.
I'm yeah, whatever you're
so
talking about.
yeah,
I mean, Gershwin was able to write these beautiful tunes, right?
mhm.
Training doesn't get you there. That's something that's in your brain. And of course, the training happens. He was trained, of course. But
Hmm.
the innate ability to write tune after tune, beautiful tune after tune after tune after tune, is a kind of a talent that you can't just learn how to do that. It's a
This
cliche. You can't teach
it
that, right?
is it is highly it highly
This is why we're
depends on
talking
like
about Gershwin.
how you how you were raised, right? Like most of this comes from what your like where you were born into, right? Where was it a musical family? Did you play an instrument or did you get into music by yourself? Like if you were forced, sometimes you might not, right? It's like there's a lot of factors at play here that like it's boiling down to the question to what is talent again, right? Like is it inherently genetic? And most of it isn't, to be honest, right? Like most of it, like when it's not physical, like mentally some of it like chemically and maybe even
That's a good
physical wise,
question.
right? But it's like how much of it, like to what degree does that talent define how good an artist can become? And I think there's like the line is not that big, right? Like there's not a lot
I think the question is good at what. We have to define good at what. So is what I'm understanding from what Joel is saying here is that you're talking about your ability to receive signals from the ether, right? When you get inspiration, like that signal reception, right? Your talent of getting those signals in a clear way and being able to process them and send them into music. Like we don't really pick what signals we get, but talent might optimize the reception and processing part. But then you could argue that if everyone had the same understanding of theory or something, and let's say we're working within the established rules of a genre, and you get an idea, like how is anyone different really too much to using those tools? So it's like,
well, nothing's in a vacuum either. Like what creates your thoughts, right? Think about it. It's your environment, it's your life, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, how much is that a product of your environment versus the product of your
is
genius?
It really you,
what
or
is
it
genius?
just the fact
Like
that
how
you're
much
in
is
that
it you?
exact environment?
Right, the right place,
How
right
can you
time.
prove or disprove that?
Yeah, that is
Here's
another
a thought
factor. It's
experiment.
complicated.
What if you took anyone, like you said, and you placed them in that person's exact scenario? Would it happen the same way?
No.
Okay, what's the difference between luck and talent? If someone's a lucky composer or lucky artist versus a talented one, how would you measure those things?
Commercially, I don't know what lucky composer. What is even a lucky composer?
You got lucky. You got an idea in your dream, and you got lucky, and you wrote the most genius melody, and you didn't craft that melody. You just one day woke up and were like, oh, a melody, and then you wrote it down. So
yeah.
What are you because there are artists who will say, hey, like I had no idea this was going to be the best thing in the world, and I just one hit wonder. They just wrote something that was incredible and it resonated. It was the perfect timing for that piece of work, and it just resonated incredibly.
Paul McCartney did that with Yesterday. He dreamed it.
Yeah.
Tchaikovsky used to dream. What do you mean? Well,
I'm saying that they've written a lot of things that I guess like, is it consistency then that is like talent versus luck? I guess usually people say luck is like something that's rare, whereas like talent would be something consistent. Output is like high end or something.
Yeah. I mean, any idea, if it's good, is lucky because you can't control having an idea.
Yeah,
if you get a good idea, you got a little bit of luck at that moment.
Here's the thing, though, is like an idea. I mean, okay, so like in games, right? Like we have this thing where it's like everyone's always the idea guy, right? They always have a great idea, but ideas mean nothing in visual art and in gaming. What it is execution, and I have a feeling it's the same way in this. Is your execution of said ideas is what really matters.
I think both matter.
True. Both do.
But I think it's underestimated. I think that the execution is underappreciated, or as an audience, someone who might not be in the field will definitely undervalue. They're like, that idea was amazing. I'm blown away by it. Well, maybe you're blown away by it because the execution was fucking refined as fuck or something, right? And you just,
But you also can't fall for third. You can't fall
like
for
a brand new composer a melody, and then give Chopin a melody, and then it's like obviously he's gonna make it way better.
No.
Even
but if it's a bad melody, then it still won't really be great.
Well, I could argue any of these points. I don't know.
You take a mediocre melody and make it genius.
You can reharmonize melodies.
Yeah, that's the thing. You could. Okay, yeah. So it's all about what is the goal you're shooting with this like idea or something like a melody. What is the? I would say that you could give a shitty melody, and then I think the first thing that a like apt composer would do is be like, well, what context does this melody work really well in? What message would this melody serve really well? You know what I mean? Like, and the rhythm is a giant factor in the perception of a melody as well. So just for starters.
Just for starters.
Look, I saw this.
Let's see if we can even find this moment.
That way, you write the piece, and then we'll see if it fits. So I wrote it, and I sent it to him. And
Mhm. But to put the thought to bed, I guess, with the thought inspiration versus thought driven, how much does talent play a role in that? Um, is talent in thought? Is it in intuition? So talent drives supercharges intuition. That is literally
In a
like
way, that would
one in
make
one.
sense. Yeah.
Would you say? Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Mm. And the thought is something you can learn. Thought would be something that anyone can learn. Like you could be limited by maybe you're like not super bright, let's say, to use like normal term, but like I mean, you can technically, as a teacher, I would think that anything that is thought driven could be learned. I don't think there is. I think that's a categorical almost thing. I think teaching can optimize any thought driven thing, any technique. Therefore, can be like of a playing an instrument, let's say, can be learned and taught and boiled down and simplified and all that stuff.
Yeah, I would agree.
Iceland. He didn't phone me. I had to phone him. I had to go, well, you have that Bastini. I mean,
Joel, do you have any unresolved thoughts on this
No,
topic? Okay.
no, not really. I mean, I think I
Just
made
On
myself
this
pretty clear.
topic, not really. No,
Okay.
I mean, I don't either. But I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
it was a
Just
great
making
topic to
sure.
talk about.
I want to make sure everyone feels like they're getting heard because we got a lot of people in the call as well.
For sure,
This time around.
I'm
Yeah.
really trying to not talk in between anyone. To be honest,
Same.
it's like I'm so impulsive when it comes to talking. It's like I instantly want to say something about that point, at this point, at that point. But
No, me too. Me too.
it's like,
Yeah, I'm notorious. I
I
have to
think
fight not
my
to
last
talk
thing
over
else.
people sometimes.
Oh, sorry. I just did it.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say my last thing on it is like the one reason I don't like the term talent either is I felt like it always took away from the work I did at the piano. Like I would have these people tell me that like didn't know anything about music, like, "Oh, you're just so talented. That must be how you can do it." And it's like I worked 10
Oh,
hours a day or
yeah.
more every single day for years on end to be able to do
So
what I
they
do.
assume that you just could do it as easily as they could if only they had talent. It would just
Yeah,
make up
they
all
just
that
assumed I
work.
just kind of
Yeah.
sat down and just did
No,
it, and
no, no,
it's
no, no,
like,
no.
dude, I
Yeah,
spent thousands and thousands and thousands of hours doing this.
that
Like,
that is not at all, I think, the definition that here we all probably agree on
right,
what
no,
right,
talent
sure.
I wouldn't think
I
either.
agree that's the one you meant, where people are
Yeah.
more inclined for certain things, of course.
Like
You
they
know,
pick up a
but
skill a little faster and they have to do less work
right,
to refine that skill to its
yeah, of
and
course, yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, when you have when you have these people who are in the audience that come up after a concert and say, "Oh, you're so talented, you're so wonderful." I think
Yep.
it can be viewed as, from an artist's point of view, as like an undermining of the maybe the
Mhm.
discipline it might have taken to get this level of skill.
Right, and that's why I always felt like it
Yeah.
was like, this is something you could have done if you had my will
Yeah.
to do it, because I just
Mm,
simply had the will. I'm doing this, nothing is stopping me. That's it.
yeah.
It's done. And then I did it. And it's like
I just had to
that's why I
choose to
said I
do
think
it.
anyone can
I
do
just
anything,
chose to be able to play this amazing passage and beautiful
Yeah,
phrasing, and I just
basically.
chose
Yeah.
to think about the harmony and
But it took
just came to me. It's great.
that decision took years though, not seconds.
I mean, yeah, obviously it's a
So,
process, right? Like you
yeah.
never, especially in the beginning of playing an instrument, usually never like, oh yeah, this is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life, right?
Right, sure.
At least
Yeah.
that's what it was for me, right? I played the trumpet, I started on the trumpet, and it was, it was fine, right? It was
I
fun,
wasn't
but it
interested in any of the
wasn't
other
really
stuff.
like, oh, this is something I want to do my entire life. At some point, though, it was like, I definitely want to keep playing trumpet for the rest of my
Right.
life after having great experiences with it, right? In a way.
I found it. I can't believe it. This is like a 1 hour 42-minute interview, and I literally just happened to click on it eventually. I found it. And it's also a highly viewed part of the video, which is great. That makes, yeah, duh. Let's see, will it play?
And I was like,
Yeah, it will. Okay. Yeah, right here, right here.
days making a sound, and then what I do. But sometimes, sometimes I spend days making a sound, and then somebody kicks me and goes, right, the notes, and my life has been music from as far as I can remember. I was thrown out of 8 schools because all I wanted to do was play the piano. I wasn't interested in any of the other stuff. And I was lucky.
I can't
Yes,
hear
I
him.
had a period of living in.
You can't hear it?
No.
Oh, I can.
What's wrong with mine?
Is it too quiet? I can turn it up on this
maybe.
end, but then I
It's
turn
in
it
his
down.
stream. It's not in his camera. You gotta.
Oh,
I'm streaming it. Oh, okay.
No, I can hear it on there too, on the stream, Discord stream.
Interesting. Well,
Is
my
that unmute?
camera is what you're seeing. You're seeing a virtual camera. So this is a camera. What I just turned off and turned on. This is
but your actual stream
is the actual stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Confusing because the stream is watching the same thing.
The
So
stream
let
is
me bounce back
Inception.
just a tiny bit. It is Inception. Ironic. We're talking about Hans Zimmer here.
Sometimes I spend days making a sound, and then somebody kicks me and goes, right, the notes, and my life has been music from as far as I can remember. I was thrown out of 8 schools because all I wanted to do was play the piano. I wasn't interested in any of the other stuff. And I was lucky. Yes, I had a period of living in rat-infested places and with a, single coil ring. You put the baked beans on top of it, and that was like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Actually, the fun part of that which was really, truly not fun. So I was getting into synthesizers. And so I go, okay, tonight I'm going to come up with some really cool sounds. With the one problem that the electric meter, you had to put shillings in.
Oh my gosh.
And and I just remember, I had my whole setup, and I was so excited, and I had my cup of coffee, and I was gonna go, and I'm just about to switch it on when, both, electricity goes out, and of course I don't have any shillings, so I'm just sitting there all night in the dark. I waited until the dawn came up, and I went for a walk. I mean, so yes, I come from that period as well. And then. I was just lucky. I mean, I was found by Arie, which was really a George Martin company, and this woman, Maggie Rodford, who, meant she needed a synth programmer. Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. So 8 schools he was thrown out of because all he wanted to do was piano and just play piano. He also started off pretty low.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Now he has his own giant room with a lounge chair and pillows that he writes in.
Wow.
Yep. So I was like, yeah, that part I was like, how he so like being thrown out of a school or like not wanting to subscribe to that is not at all a telltale on anything credibility wise of like what you do. Clearly.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, guys, I gotta head out. It's 5:12. I getting dried out, and I want to sleep.
For anyone watching.
Yeah, AM. I'm gonna stay in the stream for like a bit, maybe like 20 minutes while I brush my teeth and get myself ready.
Jump in the chat. Spam the chat.
Yes, exactly. We'll see how much I will spam, but I'll try. All right, have a great night, guys.
Yeah, see you, Hansi. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
So, did you ever have the experience, Joel? What I was talking about with the talent thing?
Yeah, I mean,
people like, oh, you must have just picked that right up.
yeah. It doesn't offend me though, because they mean well, and you can kind of you should kind of see it as a compliment, because when they say you're talented, you should see it in the context of meaning you're better than what most people would do with the same effort.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Makes sense.
That's
Yeah.
definitely another way to contextualize it totally
That's a good
differently.
point.
Yeah.
That's actually a compliment. It's not saying that you didn't work. It's just saying that all things equal, you're better than most people
Right.
It might be
who would do the
layman
same.
for you are extraordinary. It might just be the layman word for you're
Yeah,
extraordinary.
that's true.
Yeah, you're above average in your ability
Which is
set or whatever.
that is kind of the layman definition for talented is above the norm.
Right.
I guess extraordinary. I think that
Mhm.
the super watered down generic like qualification of what talent means is like something that's extraordinary. So maybe that's what they
Right.
mean.
And so to
Yeah,
me,
totally.
honestly, if somebody were to come up to me and say, "You're so skilled," I wouldn't like that as much because it's like, well, sure, I'm skilled. Anybody can get skilled. But when you say talented,
Yeah, they're trying to make you feel
compliment-
special.
that's a
I see
compliment
what you mean. Okay.
about your innate ability that
Yeah.
means more than me
Right.
personally.
We're so
Yeah.
on edge about like being commented on our playing and everything. We're so sensitive sometimes, right?
I know.
And then like the teachers being like yelling about like what we might do. It's just
Well, I
Yeah.
think part of
yeah.
it too for me triggered me because it's like so when I first started playing, I played for like a year and a half with no lessons and like played like
Mhm.
super hard stuff, or whatever. And then after that, started lessons and took them for about a year or so. And for for some reason, my parents still got it in their mind that that he's like, oh, he's like never had lessons. And I'm like, I
Um,
did.
oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
So it like, yeah, it just really like bothered me, because it's like
That's fair.
it
Mm.
makes it feel like, oh, well, you didn't really put in any work. You just kind of just were able to do it, and it's like that's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
fair.
But yeah, I get what you mean.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's two ways to look at it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
They should all just say, "I love how you play." That's what they should say.
There you go. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. What's your dog looking at?
Out the window.
Other
Yeah.
people walking?
I mean the street. Sometimes there's people hanging out. There is like a park not far. That kids play at like playground.
Yeah.
It's nearby. And he likes watching that. So,
Quite interesting activity to watch people walk around.
yeah, he wants to be out there with them running
Yeah, he
around.
does.
Yeah.
Back when I had a dog before he died, I would crack the window for him. He'd just put his nose up to the window and just smell all the smells coming through, Yeah,
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
it was fun for him.
Sorry he passed away. Was that recently?
7 years.
Okay.
Damn,
Yeah,
sorry.
2019. Yeah, it was bad. It was rough.
Sag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got him when I was 10, so yeah, 14. He was 14.
Oh, wow.
He was a good boy. Good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Half golden retriever. Oh God, half golden fuck, golden
Golden
retriever.
Retriever.
German Shepherd. He was a golden shepherd.
Oh, yeah, Golden Shepherd.
Oh,
Yeah.
mine's a
Goodness,
golden retriever beagle mix.
nice beagle.
Nico, say
I want
hi.
to see
Yeah.
that. A golden.
You do? Here, let me. I'll get her to come in here. Hold on, one sec.
There he is.
Oh, that's
He's
a
a
good
good boy.
combination. Do you ever give your dog a short haircut, or is it always long?
No, no. He sheds everything too, so Nico, Nico,
Nico, come here.
Nico, Nico, hi.
What's his personality? Is he like a very calm dog?
Mm. He's pretty lively. Um, he'll cry a lot about if he wants something. And he'll what is it? Yeah, he likes to run around and stuff. Yeah.
What's your dog's
Oh,
name? What's your dog's name, Ari?
Daisy.
What's up, Daisy? Is she older?
cute,
Yeah, she's like 8.
cute.
Daisy. Daisy.
Daisy, sit. Hey. She's
Uh-huh.
looking
She's
for something.
focusing on the spot on the floor.
Daisy.
It's just
I remember
carpet.
I was at a park
So I just dropped
and
the treat. You eating, huh?
cute.
It's so funny that humans like to keep like beasts in their house.
I know, right?
It's so funny.
Maybe the dogs like to keep us beasts around, you know.
Exactly.
She's just sitting there staring.
Staring. What the fuck are you
Cute.
looking at?
I mean, let's
There's
jump through
nothing
some of
down there.
these. Oh,
Roll around.
cute. Gosh.
What an easy life they have. My God.
I know, right? She
They
just
don't
sleeps all
panic.
day. Eats
They don't
food,
have attacks.
goes back to sleep.
Okay. Let me look at some of these other questions here. What's in common across different artistic pursuits when it comes to expression and emotional impact? Humans, are we the common denominators? Something I wrote down. I mean, that's I don't even know what that
Oh, yeah, I
question
remember that. It's
is. Do
because
you
I had
remember
an
this?
epiphany. I
You
was
had an
like,
epiphany.
okay,
Okay.
you notice everything in art and architecture and everything, there's like a rule to everything, right? Why we think things look good.
Right, I
And it's
remember this.
because of us. We're the common
Mhm.
denominator.
Well, what looks good to us as a
Right.
general, like a mean, if you had like a mean across everything, then you
Exactly, like an
probably would have,
average.
yeah.
Like what chords sound good, what shapes look good, what colors go together, like all this stuff.
There's
You
some
know, it's
like some
interesting.
consensus, yeah.
It seems like, and it's true. It's like the great talented people of the world are the ones who kind of guide the rest of them, you know. It's like this is what sounds great. So when Bach is doing his thing, it's because he's Bach, and like the people before him. So, because like it didn't start with Bach, obviously, but like the 10 best people before him like helped to pave the way to Bach, and then Bach went from there.
Right.
Because like at the start, there was nobody with a fucking textbook. It was just people figuring out what sounded best, and like the best people of the day came up with like the best practices.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, and
I
it's
do think
also like you
talent, yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say it's like you have all these people doing this, and when we look back, we only look at the one that was like the best, according to everyone's opinion.
To Bach.
Yeah, Bach or whoever, Chopin, but
Yeah.
we don't think about all the hundreds of other
Mm.
people that did it, and we didn't even
Oh,
think of them or know them.
yeah, sure.
Oh, there's tons of music in classical genre that is like just buried, never performed. That's actually
Yeah.
good stuff out there. And I've actually
Yeah.
thought about at some point, um, like one of the things I've put a lot of work into is a grading system for like how difficult songs are for like strings, especially for violin. And like I was thinking like, oh, you could level grade everything from MSLP if you had like a bot be able to go through
Yeah.
and just do that, and that would be fun and interesting to see what you'd end up with and what because there's just so many. There's tons of concertos by Vivaldi, I think, that are like I actually went through a little bit of a rabbit hole and was like, I wonder what all the other Vivaldi concertos look like. And there's like
Mhm.
two that are basically the only ones that are performed, and a lot of them have even more like repeated notes of like this just so like the one that we play the most is the one that has the most variety, and all the other
Right.
ones that may have been kind of lost to time are all just almost more experimentations that Vivaldi might have done um,
Mhm.
with his writing, but it's maybe
Mhm.
just not as just refined, let's
Criminal.
say.
Now,
So
which
refined.
one are you talking about? Are you talking about the Four Seasons one?
Four
The
Seasons.
seasons. Yeah.
There's the Four Seasons, there's the A minor, and then there's the D minor concerto. I guess Four Seasons, I forgot I didn't mention that. Yeah, so
Mhm.
three big ones. D
And
minor is probably
besides,
less famous overall.
so those are really his three hits, you'd say?
For violin concertos, yes, those are probably the main ones you hear about, and there's like a bunch other ones, and they're like in all different keys, but they're very like just the same note and the same chord and just arpeggiating through it, and it's like it doesn't really like have the kind of storytelling waves
Is
that like the
is
Four
is
Seasons did and all this other
is the
stuff
Four
did.
Seasons is the Four Seasons technically considered a concerto, or is it like a suite of some kind?
It is.
It is.
It
Oh,
is
okay.
4 concertos for each
Cool.
season, I think. I don't know if the opus reflects that, but I think that that it is a concerto. It is a violin concerto, categorically,
Mhm.
I'd say. Yeah, and I think it's 4 different ones because it's 3 movements per season, so it's literally 3 movement. Like, it's not
Wait,
very
is it really?
big. Yeah, you get 3
There's
movements
4
per season.
separate
There's
concerto?
12. I think
Oh, I
so.
didn't know that. I've never even heard it.
You never heard 4 seasons?
No.
No
I mean,
What?
way.
I've heard parts of
No.
it.
No.
I've
That's like
heard
you just said you never heard Beethoven's Ninth or something.
I've heard parts of it. I've never
Well,
heard the whole
let's
thing.
listen to some of it. It's so good. Let's
It's
listen
very
to some
Wow,
of
good.
it.
it's 4
Yeah.
concertos. Holy shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They're small though.
I played the
Yeah.
A minor concerto, just the Vivaldi. I could actually just might as well find it.
Ooh, I got a good question after this. But
Yeah, write it down so you don't forget.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's
let's see.
specific to violin.
Watch. So then I have to stream it normally as well. So I'm gonna stream. So make sure you press on the thing. So this is my actual channel with like my own playing, and one of them is when I was 2008. That's 12. I think I was
Mhm.
12. I played with an orchestra,
13-ish.
Vivaldi concerto. This one,
Are you 95 or 96?
2008.
No, your birth year.
What? 96? What? 98?
Are you
Sorry.
95 or 96?
96. Oh, my years.
Oh,
I was like
yeah.
95 years old. Sorry. My
Okay,
brain is,
gotcha.
as I said, I
Okay.
wasn't really
You're
gonna do the
95.
stream because my brain is like not really there that much. But anyway, yeah, 96 is the year. Yes, I'm 96. Yeah. This is the most classic one. Everyone plays this one.
Can you boost it a bit? Oh, wait, hold on,
It's
sorry.
pretty loud.
Sorry, I wasn't watching this thing.
Yeah, you gotta click the thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's not playing through the stream actually, is it? Oh, it is. How's the bounce? It's pretty good. Could turn it up a little more. So this the okay. Anyway, so that's the most famous one. Then there's the Vivaldi. Well, not the most famous. I mean, I'd say the Four Seasons is the most famous, but that's the most famous one in the classic like genre. Like when you're studying, this is like the first concerto you learn. Maybe there's also Acolyte that people play, but Vivaldi is like the big kind of like, okay, you officially are above intermediate level, if you or sort of,
Oh.
Mhm.
if you will, for like generic stuff. So then there's the D minor concerto, which is this one. Da, da, da. It's actually, maybe it's played more than I think. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Maybe it'll play. Yeah, it's kind of like one.
How old is this piece? Is it before rock?
Kind of. So.
Did you just say before rock?
Oh, Bach.
Oh, I thought you were making a joke.
No.
Yeah, it's before rock.
So Four
alright.
Seasons. Let's look at Four Seasons. So
1723. That's during Bach's lifetime.
nice, 42 minutes. That's to life. So yeah, this is great. You've heard this, no?
Oh,
Okay. So then you've heard Four Seasons. This is the Four Seasons.
I've heard these. Yeah, I've heard the first movements of each one.
Okay, so that's the first movement. Oh no, wait, we need to. Please, of course, no timestamps. That's fine. So I think this is all first movement. Okay. No, that's all still first. I have the sheet. I can literally. We can look at the score together. I think it's like here. So it's yeah. So this is second movement. Now this is movement 2. No, there were two. No, yeah, Hansi, there was timestamps only for the actual concertos. Yeah, so very like, kind of like this. This is literally, yeah, it is definitely different movements for sure. So this is Largo, literally. Might as well share my own score here. I think this is the non-mouse LP score. See how this will look. You can actually probably see my cam. Yeah. So the first movement is here, except without the, yeah, without that. So that's the, and then Largo. So very like that, so stuff. Or is it just 2? No, it isn't. So that's the third movement of this frame. There it is. Perfect. Very pretty stuff. I mean, yeah. And then like Winter's probably one you're familiar with. Or Summer. Summer's probably the most famous one.
No, Spring is the most famous, easily.
Okay.
Yeah, go to Spring.
Spring?
Or Autumn.
This was Spring.
No, it's
we
Autumn.
were in Spring.
Go to Autumn.
Oh, Fall?
Yeah, do Autumn. That's the one, I think. Yep, this is the one.
This is the most famous one.
Easily
Okay.
the most famous, yeah.
Definitely for the first moment.
Everything.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. This is like
You hear this in,
overplayed.
like,
Probably okay. The most
everything.
overplayed moment. What is this one?
Right. We have any movies and TV shows and everything.
But this part, nobody, like, who knows that stuff doesn't know any of these stuff that goes on here. Like all these passages that come up later. I mean, some of it, yeah, maybe. Okay, so the adagio, then it's an adagio. So that was movement allegro. And then we have an adagio moto. This movement. Which is very sad. Oh no, this is the same movement. Oh my god, it is the same movement. This is the ending. And then it goes back to allegro. Yeah, it's very sad, kind of like contrast. And then it ends.
This
then
is
we have
kind of off topic, but do you know this piece?
General?
Yeah.
Brandenburg Concerto, yes, I'm pretty sure I do.
It's a good one.
It smokes the Four Seasons.
Oh shit, let's go. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah, every string player knows this. Wait, is that the normal? The mohawk here makes me think of like, because we were talking about like Hans Zimmer, makes me think of uh, the actor he always has, usually lead. DiCaprio, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Violinist Leonardo DiCaprio. He's got that look a little bit. It's whatever. But yeah, is it really for flute, violoncello? Is that the
Mhm.
solo
Yeah.
parts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot about that. Yeah, but I've definitely heard that. That is extremely famous
Yeah.
as well. Yes.
Really good.
Canon, like it's just the list for sure. Okay, so this was and then if we jump back, the Allegro. Let me just play the Allegro, the third movement. Bum 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 bum. You probably heard this.
Yep.
But Joel, have you heard that? Probably, right?
I have no.
Oh, you have it. It's really nice. It's a jam.
Oh, this is great.
It's got kind of that energy of like this one, honestly, in some ways too. I would say. It's got passages and stuff here, kind of.
So how hard is that on violin?
Not that bad. I mean, the bottom note is an open string of the arpeggiation. So
Yeah.
and if you're in fifths, it's not too bad at all. Yeah. It's such a fun play too. I would totally play it like right now. Yeah. So yeah. So I do think they're treated as independent concertos, if I recall.
Yeah, they
To
are.
answer
They are,
question,
for sure.
yeah.
They're four
Winter.
separate.
Winter's really famous. Gotta love that score. Could always just add, you know, the quarter and the three lines. Like,
Right.
I don't know why this IMSLP version has it like this. Yeah, I just do a note and just done instead of this. But hey, it looks really impressive.
looks
Someone looks
cooler.
at this and goes, ah, you know.
Right.
Always great. I could never play that, says the student. And I'm like, it's literally the same note over and over again. No, it's impossible. Sorry. Sometimes it's
Just show 'em
wild how much
Paganini.
temptation. Yeah. I had a student who is like a young kid, like 6 years old, walk into a lesson and he was like, because I let people pick their repertoire a good bit. I'm very open to that. So I invite them to tell me what they're interested in or what they might be listening to. And he was like, I want to play this. And it was on the notebook, on the notepad or the sticky note, it said Caprice Paganini Caprice 24. I was like,
Oh
interesting.
my god.
And then I was like, okay, well, here, I'll play for you. Or he was like, no, I can play it. It's easy. It's easy. I was like, yeah, great. And then later I go to the front desk and they're like, yeah, the kid asked me to look up the hardest piece in the world for violin. I was like, yeah, that checks out. That that's how they got. Because I was like, how in the world do they know about this? Why would they
Yeah.
like? And it's because they were like, I want the hardest piece in the world. I'm gonna
That
play
was
the hardest
me
piece.
trying to learn La Campanella as my first piano piece.
Mhm.
So, you know, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Let's see. So evolutionary, what does music serve evolutionary? I don't know, Joel, if you have some thoughts on that, I'd be
Yeah,
curious to
that's
hear your
that's
thoughts.
more
Like, what is the
Evolutionary.
evolutionary? Why would we evolve to be in tune with music and like rhythm and all that stuff?
Well, it's a pretty big subject.
Yeah, it is.
yeah, yeah.
um, I mean,
More evolution.
Ties and I sort of waxed philosophical last night. I don't know if I have it in me again to do a big one tonight, but
That's fine. Me neither. I'm kind of like, I didn't mean to throw
Yeah.
you on the chair, Ari. But yeah,
it's
maybe
okay.
since you brought that up,
I mean, I can
Yeah,
certainly
I
talk.
wish.
Just I don't want to stoke a debate too much because I don't agree with Ari on this. I already know.
You don't.
And it's okay.
oh
It's
yeah.
fine.
All right. All right. I'm fine.
Um,
I didn't
it's
disagree.
just
What is it?
yeah. It's well, I don't really know if I want to open the can of worms too much.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Um,
Ari, how about you just tell us what sparked this question and what your thoughts are on it?
Well, I'm not really sure, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
I I haven't
I
really
have a
looked
pretty.
into it. I'm sure there's research on it, but I'm not
Mm,
really sure. Like, what's the reason we feel any of these things, right?
mm.
Um, that's kind of what I'm getting at. I don't know. You know.
I mean, I think I have a pretty mild like answer on that. I feel like the whole like you think of like how music has been used to rhythmically sync up, let's say the Roman or Greek like army to like march together, like marching together, moving
Yeah.
as a unit. All this kind of stuff is like, um, you know, like music has been used to unify motion and striking it, fighting, attacking a tiger or a bear as a caveman. Caveman is
Yeah.
like, the whole like, okay, let's go, and excitement, and that, there's an emotional, I guess, like that emotional response means that we will take care of each other because there's like emotional reciprocity or some kind of thing going
Mhm.
on there. But then like the music can supercharge that kind of thing. So it's like you think the whole survivorship bias of like maybe the humans that didn't, or the apes, let's say if we came from apes, that didn't have that as much, and they couldn't utilize that as much, they might have not been able to take on unified fronts to take on such beasts and prevail the way
Mhm.
that we have as
my
humans.
problem is that
That's a good point.
uh, evolutionary psychology is such a weak science, and
Mhm.
it doesn't tell you very much because it's mostly guesswork. And
Mhm.
even if you had the right theory, you're not drilling down into the engineering reason of why the brain wiring is the way it is, what that
Mhm.
entails. So
Yeah.
you only ever have a very low resolution picture from that kind of a theory.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even then, it doesn't tell you. So Ty has just talked about kind of functional, like the
Yeah,
tribes that
sure.
have beats
Just the
in there of
implementation, like it
melody.
has worked. Why is
No,
not really
but
what I answered at
that's
all. Yeah.
that's like an easy kind of a low level kind of theory about it. But it does you can't extrapolate that necessarily to profound transcendent meaning that we get from certain kinds of works. Where
Right.
does that
Right.
come from? Why does that fit into our
Exactly. That's the
trajectory
question.
as brains evolving? How the fuck did, same thing with philosophy and mathematics, all these things that are like big human things. Why do we need
Mhm.
all of that, to
Hmm.
survive? If it's just about surviving, why is that? Now, I'm not saying I don't believe in evolution because I do. It's just
Sure.
there's a nuance here, and
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't know everything, right? That's the thing.
we don't know
Like, we
everything
shouldn't
exactly.
assume we do.
So
So.
yeah,
Yeah, I
um,
would
Now,
I
I
wouldn't
don't think
say
that
that. Yeah.
necessarily equals spiritual something or whatnot. That doesn't. I wouldn't jump to that conclusion, but it just means we don't know. That's what it
right.
means.
Scientifically, you can't make that assertion that it's some kind of spiritual meaning.
Sure, there's just no way to
I
prove
happen to
that.
subscribe to that kind of worldview, but scientifically
Hmm.
speaking, we can't say anything about it because it's too
Yeah,
crazy.
right. There's no way to measure that. Science
No, you
can't
can't even come
measure the
close. So
supernatural. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say like I don't think that just because we have some aptness to something means that it serves pure. Just because we have something doesn't mean that it must, because we've survived, we must have served a survivor role. Like just because
Yeah.
we have an emotional response or some kind of conversation through music. I mean, I think language, finding ways to communicate, has been the pursuit of humans forever, right? I mean, communication alone, I'm sure historically, not like biologically, whatever, like
Well, that's a good
historically,
point.
there's evidence that communication has been a powerful tool to improve our ability to survive. But I don't think that just because, I mean, I guess that would be A equals B equals C of like, then, A equals C of like, music has helped us communicate, therefore it is has enhanced survival. But I don't think I don't think it's primary, like it didn't serve the primary role of survival. It's not for the point. The point, it might not really be survival. It might be, again, maybe creating meaning. I mean, a lot of like the whole
But
brain
the
and
thing is that
yeah.
the changes that happen in the species that benefit the species are changes that would allow you to survive versus your competition, right? And so, if there's going to be a structural change to the brain over, say, 20 million years,
Yeah.
the changes have to benefit your survival. That's what cancels out the other people and makes you keep going. And
But
Yeah.
so,
it could
what are
be
those
though.
changes in the actual brain wiring that are happening
Yeah.
to that allow music to have this kind of profound meaning in our heads? Where's that coming from? Because it's not getting there by accident. It's not just like popping in. It's getting in there because our brains are changing because of competition, because of other humans who are not as good as us over 20 million years, 50 million, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? It
Well,
can't be an accident.
I just had an idea. What if it, like, imagine like originally, like maybe it was the voice, right? Like, what if it was like mothers singing to their children or something, and then
Mm.
and then over time it became okay. Now people are doing music, and that's bringing up those emotions that you had when you felt that other thing, and then it like goes from there. Like maybe it's something like that.
Hmm.
The
Yeah, I mean,
I
soothing
don't know.
yeah,
role of voice. I mean, voice has been the
Yeah.
instrument even before the organized sound was
Or
even
the
a thing,
chaos of it,
probably.
of someone, not being so soothing. Who
yeah.
knows? Yeah.
And that's a good that is a good theory, but for me, it doesn't explain why. It doesn't explain
Yeah.
the depth that music can get you to, and why combinations, these abstract sound combinations, do something so pointed and profound, and
Mhm.
make people have like spiritual experiences. That's how
Well,
powerful they are.
well, it really doesn't explain emotions at all, right? Like, because it's like
No, it
you would have
doesn't.
to explain emotions in general.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
mean,
emotions.
Like,
Yeah. The reason
yeah.
that at one point I was on the call with Joel, and with even with you guys, I think I was watching the Dr. K stream, and Dr. K is someone
Yep.
who talks about
I love Dr.
psychology
K.
and oh yeah,
Yeah.
amazing stuff. He did a live stream with his wife, talking
Mhm.
about to people and answer questions. And one of the topics they actually hit was, can you is I wrote down the notes. Let me see. I wrote down a bunch of notes and all that. Um, uh, because it was about emotions and
Mhm.
um, like I have a wall of text. God. Um, okay. Ultimately,
Nope.
okay. You can learn what's there. Oh, I guess like while I'm looking through this, I had a thought of like, would a caveman hearing like Bach feel the same way that
Mhm.
someone would feel today?
Oh,
Forget the
that's such a good
context of,
question.
forget the context of like, like the
Yeah.
context we live in. But let's say we, the people today, how we've evolved, go back in
Mhm.
time into the environment of a caveman, live there for
Yeah.
let's say 5 years, and then we hear Bach and they hear Bach. Like, has something changed?
That's genius. Like, here's the
That would
thing.
prove this, right? That'd be the
I
A/B
don't,
test.
I don't think it would because I like Joel. I think there's
Oh,
some
Joe.
special element, some reason it touches us. I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't really have any evidence for that, but yeah, that's
yeah,
an
yeah.
interesting question. I wonder. I feel like they'd be confused at first, but like after a bit, like,
But the
you know what?
emotional, the
There's a
raw
perfect video.
emotion
No,
that we're
I got the
talking
perfect
about,
video.
is that the same? And by the way, Joel's gone. He disconnected on accident.
Right. And I got the perfect video to show you for that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send this to you.
Oh, he. Wait.
Oh, is he coming back? No, he joined the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You gotta join AVC in this DC. Oh yeah, sure. We'll take a look at that. Joe's here.
Yeah, if you want to pull that up.
Got it.
Here.
Yeah, I can't drag you in unless you're in this. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right. So speaking of your question, he just had
the
a great
caveman.
question. Tell him the question.
I think he heard. Did you hear that? Okay, so I was saying basically, I had a thought of like, what if you like had, what if a caveman heard Bach music? Like, would they feel the same things that we felt today? Like, forget cultural context. Let's say we like time travel back to the caveman years, live for 5 years with them or something. Would like is the evolution over time? What has changed? What would be different, right?
I would say no, and I think something that makes this even more interesting. Well, I think it might not be there at all, and I don't know. And here's the thing: not all human beings have the same experience. So many people don't feel anything at Bach. Now, if it was something that was like hunger, or it's like the fight or flight, something that's basic.
Yeah.
It's a fundamental thing. It should be universal. We should all be feeling the same general thing at a Bach piece, and yet it can fall on deaf ears time and time again. It's certain people with the right kinds of brains that like that stuff, and we get this like religious experience from it. So,
and is it like your environment or is it you? That's what I said earlier. Remember? Because like for me, I grew up hearing this stuff my entire life.
Oh yeah, that's part of it too. It's part of your language that you've absorbed, so it's like you're familiar with it. That helps you connect with it, and for sure that's a huge thing too. But even then, like if you had like 5 brothers, you might not all love the same music the same way, or even love music in general the same way. One might love it more.
True.
Like that's true with me. I love it more than my brothers. So
found it. Okay, I found the bit which I took notes on from Dr. K. So I wrote down, you have a fair amount of control over emotions. They're constructed. So emotions are actually constructed to a certain degree. And there's some interesting papers that talk about this, which is to answer that call, to kind of address the topic of like, do we control this? Do we like choose emotions and things? So it's influenced by your predictions. So our brain being a prediction machine, our predictions influence our emotions. So if you lower, like people say, oh, lower your expectations, you'll feel better about like the outcomes of this. Like it does actually affect things. So if you lower your expectations, it changes the prediction about the future. It alters our emotional state when that future happens because our prediction about that future has been altered, which changes our feeling that we then construct due to our prediction of what's coming. So
because if you change the reason you're upset, you're not going to be upset anymore.
Yeah, so like a caveman who might feel brave about facing a lion versus a brave caveman that is terrified, that you are choosing the emotion in a way, or like that is affecting your emotion, even though nothing is changing about the moment or state that you're in. So which is very interesting. If I believe I will feel something, I will likely feel it. My prediction creates the emotion when I'm in the environment. I'm reading here my notes.
Oh, let me tell you something, Ties. Arie and I both suffer from panic attacks, and this is what you're saying is completely true. Like I actually did this like an hour ago. That's why I didn't talk for about 10 minutes. I was kind of dealing with one, and yeah, and so
sorry.
Like no, it's okay. But like let's say you're somebody like me and you have a little feeling in your chest and it freaks you out. And then that fear makes your blood pulse go higher. Then you freak out about that, and then you have these bad thoughts, and it makes you get even worse. It's the same exact thing. People who have
it's a cascading thing too. It feeds into itself. Like, oh, you've experienced it, you freak out about more of that experience happening later.
What you're saying. who are
Right.
calm,
Catastrophizing. I'm very familiar with
Exactly.
catastrophication. I
Exactly.
used to catastrophize a ton, and it was really
It's
bad.
horrible. And so yeah, and you definitely can control your anger too. I feel like whenever I get angry, if I have the choice to lean into it and I'll get even angrier, or I can kind of be like, you know what,
Right.
this is not a big deal, and I can kind of calm the anger down.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys can do that
Yeah,
too?
you can like
Sometimes.
choose what to think
It's
about
hard,
in
but yeah.
response to an emotional experience. So you might have an emotional experience and be like, this is happening. Well, as adults, right? If your maturity is really to that adult, like what people consider an adult maturity,
Yeah.
that you are like able to get out of yourself and be like, oh, I am experiencing this emotion. This is likely triggering this emotion.
Mhm.
I am now going to choose what to think about and how to filter this going forward so that I then choose where my emotions will take me next. So then if
Mhm.
I stop thinking about this and choose to think about something else, it might affect what my emotions are because I am thinking
Mhm.
about a different future outcome, or I'm maybe, yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
being able to get outside of the emotion and like logic your way past it. That's what
Yeah.
grown can do, quote
So that's
unquote.
the maturity of an adult versus like a child who is just kind of at the wits of whatever sequence
They're
of
more animalistic, they're less
you're
logical.
just reacting and be like, oh, I feel this way, the world is this way, oh god, the world is this way, oh
Mhm.
god, I feel this way, and you can't really get out of this, you can't really
Yeah.
escape that treadmill as a child. You don't have the kind of, I don't know, maturity to step out. It's scary to kind of stop and be like, yeah, the introspective element is missing, and then when you
Mhm.
gain that introspective, that consciousness awareness, like topic for yesterday, is haunting our conversation.
If you
Whisper,
look at that
whispers.
video though, that's
Yeah, sure.
kind of like someone that's never heard music before in this movie, and then the first thing they hear is Beethoven. This movie's fantastic, by the way.
Equilibrium.
Mhm.
Oh, I love. Oh, is this the one where he has the AirPods in his ear and he walks around and stuff? Is this movie?
No, that's a different one.
Because it's the same actor, right? What
So
was
here,
his
I'll
name
give you a
again?
background of this. In
Or-
this movie,
Yeah.
hold on, pause it. In this
Okay,
movie,
sure.
they make everyone take pills that shuts off all emotions. And
Interesting.
all art is illegal. All music is illegal. If they find you with it, they execute you.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
1812.
so he's never heard music his entire life, or anything art at all. So, and then he's just like looking at this because he stopped taking his medicine, and he's like discovering it basically.
This one.
You're talking about American Psycho.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
American
that's what
Psycho.
that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't
Same
seen
guy,
that one
yeah.
either. Yeah, it just made me think of
Pretty
that
good.
because Patrick Bateman, right, is the
It's one
actor.
of the same, like the same year, basically, or right around the
Yeah.
same time.
Oh my God, he's incredible, by the way. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's
He plays Batman, right?
Christian Bale. is
Christian
the
Bale.
actor,
Sorry, Christian Bale. Not yeah.
Bat Bateman.
Yeah.
Let's see Paul Allen's card.
Right, let's see Paul Allen's.
Let's see Paul Allen's card. Oh my god. The tasteful thickness of it.
I love that movie.
The subtle off-white coloring. Oh my god. He even has a watermark.
Yes. It's great.
Impressive. Very nice.
Let's see Paul Allen's card.
Yeah, Tyus, you need to watch that for real.
This film. Yeah. Okay.
Both of them.
and
Watch
Psycho.
Both of them. Oh yeah. Psycho. Yeah.
But,
It's a cult classic. You have to know.
Have you seen Whiplash? What are you guys' thoughts on Whiplash?
I thought that came out.
You've never seen it? No.
You should watch it. It's good. It's like a psychological thriller thing.
Are you looking at this stream, Joel?
Have you seen the film Whiplash?
Yeah. Whiplash, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. You should watch it. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have. Yes. Which was definitely like some of it was relatable to some degree. The intensity and the pressure.
Not quite. Are you rushing or are you dragging?
Yeah. Are you rushing or are you dragging?
Why are you supposed to just throw a chair at your head? Now, was I Russian or was I dragged?
See, that's an interesting question. Would they react to this, or would they react to nothing?
If they had a pill that took erase their emotions, they wouldn't definitely not
No,
react.
no. I'm talking about like the caveman.
Oh, the caveman?
Or just anyone, I guess. Like you said, a lot of people don't react at all to it now, even.
I know. So it's complicated. It's a complicated question, isn't it? I mean, it gets into genes too. Like genes, that's a big subject.
Really?
You know? Yeah, I mean, like,
I wouldn't know anything about this.
I just
I mean,
think that, I think that like if you have the genes to like a kind of music, then you will. And when you hear it, when I found Chopin's music, I was 15, and I
Oh
knew
yeah, same.
immediately that I loved this more than any other music in my life. I didn't have to get used to it. I didn't have to like gradually like it. It was immediate. And yet, you can take somebody else, raise them as a child, listen to Chopin from the age of 0 up to 15,
and won't
and they
click.
still might not love it the same way that I loved it
Yeah.
immediately at 15.
Yeah.
So there's genes involved with this.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's all comes down to whether it is resonating to some experience you've had in your life. Like, are you resonating with the signal, the message being
Yeah,
sent?
yeah, it's lock
But
and
I
key.
wonder,
That's a really good
do you
point.
really have
Yeah.
to, like, is there something aside from just a shared experience that you would need in order to connect with the music? Are you sure?
I
Because
don't
that's
know.
what you're saying. Like a gene would
Because
be something you would
we can never know,
require.
right? Because like someone's life is their life. That we can't swap them with
Right,
someone else and
right.
find out.
Not
Like
yet.
there's
I'm
no
just
test
kidding.
to see.
I
Well,
mean,
you see what I mean? Like we can't go back and like, here, let's try this again, and you play as him this time.
to be honest,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, like at 15, that's not a lot of life to acquire a whole bunch of deep meaning. But even though that's true, I mean,
Yeah.
like when I heard that music of Chopin at 15, it didn't like tell me anything deep. I just experienced such beauty, like immediate beauty. You know what I mean? It just made me cry. I would cry at it because of how beautiful it was.
Well, same. And I
And I
was the
didn't
exact
know
same age
anything.
you
I was
were
just a
when
dumb
I
15-year-old. I
did as
didn't know
well.
anything, right? Yeah. Um,
Yeah, emotions.
So
Well, I
yeah.
mean, as a child, you don't need anyone to explain to you an emotion for you to. Actually, children are some of the most like super young. They are some of the most sensitive to emotion,
Oh
like
yeah.
beings,
Yep.
if you will. Like, so I don't find that too surprising, I would say.
See, mine was like comfort, right? Because like I heard my brother basically play Chopin my whole life while he was at home, until he left for college, and then I forgot about it, and like it was in my subconscious, and then heard it when I was like 15 or whatever, like you, and then I got obsessed with it and have been ever since.
yeah, it's mysterious. I don't know.
Yeah. Um.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna ask. So, did you like playing better in an orchestra or with a group of like a smaller group of people? Like, what's your experience?
I think when it comes to community, like the social elements, I think playing with a chamber group is generally definitely better, more personal.
Hmm.
Because you have that personal voice that you're hearing the other people's voices, and
Yeah, it's
whereas
not all
like
drowned out with everything else.
Mm.
yeah, you're supposed to blend into this single unit much more, whereas a quartet, let's say, you would want the separate voices to stand out. And then, but or in orchestra, you get the experience of the orchestra sound, and being part of
Yeah,
that sound is definitely quite fun.
yeah,
So I would say they have their ups and downs, like yeah,
yeah.
advantages, disadvantages.
Being in a quartet always seemed like something very fun to me because you're
Oh yeah,
like you all can look at each other. You can make faces and like
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's
eyes
yeah.
fun.
connect.
It's so cool.
Like,
Oh yeah, I
it's
mean
right
one of the
there.
reasons Bach double concerto is one of the most fun options for violin out there
Hmm.
is because it's incredibly fun to play this off each other thing. It's
Have you
so
seen that
energetic.
movie?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that movie? It's about a string quartet. Let me find it.
You know what would be really cool?
What's that?
A like reinterpretation of the Three Musketeers, but like for musicians' world with like three musicians and the fourth musketeer, and like that would be so cool. Like, how would you rewrite
Yeah.
that story, but like in the context of like musicians and artists? And
Mhm.
ooh, I kind of want to explore that as an idea at some point. Just had a thought. This thought. Well,
Yeah, this
you
has
thinking about like the dynamic between people and stuff.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is in this. Christopher Walken, Catherine Keener.
Ooh, Christopher Walken.
It's a great cast. Yeah, it's about a quartet. It's a good movie.
You know, I had an idea. You know, there's this guy that I forget his name, but he took voices and like broke them down until basically it was just music. Like he recreated exact voices using music, like things people were saying.
Oh wow.
And I was like, what if you could do that and take that and turn it into instruments having a real conversation with each other that actually made sense, but like worked as
That'd be
music as well.
Bum ba bum ba bum ba da bum Superman.
There you go. Yeah.
I think that's a form. That's a version of that in some ways, right?
It is.
Yeah, that's a really famous example. It's a dinosaur. It's a dinosaur. Holy shit. What the fuck? That's what Joel showed me that video. Oh my god. I like Quartet. Is this the film or just
The film. Yeah.
okay? I think I know this film. Yes, I know this film. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
It's good.
Yes, yes, it's a very good film. And I love that he's on the cello, by the way. Christopher Walken on cello is
Yeah.
genius casting, perfect casting, because that more profound, that I don't know, that profoundness that you think of as like a cello player, is like thinking profoundly about that deeper tone, and like
He winds up,
the casting was smart as well.
he ends up having to retire because of a hand illness or something, and I guess it's
Yeah,
is it a hand problem or is it like a body problem? I think he has Parkinson's. I think,
yeah,
and
I don't remember the plot that well,
the
but
character.
I have seen
So
like
Christopher
shots.
Walken is like the leader of the quartet. He's the oldest one. He gets Parkinson's,
Oh
and
no.
he knows that he only has like one more season left in him. So they do like Beethoven, whatever the great quartet is, and then they replace him with somebody else. I think, or maybe they just stopped playing. I don't remember, but it's got drama and stuff.
Yeah. Um.
Did you have any more things you wanted to
Yeah,
cover
I'm looking here.
before we
So, I mean,
end?
AI has been a topic on our minds, but we've kind of talked a good bit. I'm probably, but like, I guess this difficult skills that take a while becoming more accessible to learn today. Um, your opinion on this, like how some people might find that unfair. I mean, we have kind of talked about this at one point, but maybe your take, Ari, on like difficult skills take a while,
Mhm.
um, that take a while becoming like they become more accessible to learn today. Like the teaching progresses, and we might find more efficient or better ways to make the skills and stuff more accessible, which then I think that does push things kind of progression wise, like to us be able to reach higher heights because then people are earlier hitting the cap, and
Yeah.
then there we can get um, more exploration of the unknown.
Right. Yeah. You're
Great.
saying with
I'm just
I'm sorry.
kidding.
I'm like starting to fall asleep here.
Thanks me for answering your question for you myself, which
Oh,
I
wow.
I think I came up with. I don't even know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
No, so that's in reference to AI, right?
That was after. That's a separate. No, AI is its own topic, I guess. Yeah, separate.
Cool. What do you have to say about that?
Well, if you want to tie
What
it
was
in,
the,
that's fine. Do you want to tie
what
it
was the
into AI
question?
somehow?
Well, I think AI could be a good tool to, to learn. Obviously, don't take what it says at face value. Like, check its sources. I got in trouble the other day at work doing that, like researching, and something turned out to be wrong. I didn't check it. So, yeah.
Yeah, one of the
What was the
podcasts I said
question?
trust but verify when it comes to AI.
Right.
Difficulty. So this kind of ties into like talent and stuff as well in some ways, but like so some difficult skills that take a while to learn are becoming more accessible today to learn as science improves. For like we had a voice teacher on at one
Hmm.
point talking about how the science of understanding how the voice works has improved the ability for us to better control or learn how the voice works, which
Hmm.
means learning the voice is easier and more accessible. And some people who might have been had to figure things out kind of more in the dark on those things, um, might be upset because they had to work harder to get those skills, or maybe it was less easy or less accessible, and they might not like that. But I mean, that's just reality, I guess. I don't know if it's really much of a question, but just a topic that definitely is relevant in teaching, because some people might like the mystical side of things, and they like that they hold the cards on, like, oh, I know these secrets that took me a while to sort out.
Right.
And then like if
Well,
science
it's
just kind of
harder.
breaks that veil, just like with like sometimes with like things that might be like very heavy in religion, and then like science might say, hey, the earth is not the center of the universe now, and it's like,
Mhm.
no, we hate that, we don't want that, that ruins our kind of like the integrity of maybe like or whatever religion is trying to offer, let's say, or something.
Yeah,
So like
it's a
Yeah.
that's
perceived
stepping.
slight. Yeah, it's a
Hmm.
perceived slight on the thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, it makes it harder now because it's like you have to be really, really exceptional to be exceptional now. You can't just
Hmm.
be decent or good, because it's like
Yeah,
now
relative
everyone
to
can be,
before. Yeah.
you know. Like, okay, for
Yeah.
instance, like, yes,
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci was an absolute genius, of course, but if he tried to do what he did today with how vast each one of those things are in knowledge, it's like it would be impossible. Because it's like you would have to gain so much knowledge, it would be insane. Like think about how much a doctor learns now versus back then.
Yeah,
Hmm.
It's
Like
yeah.
being
I
able
think
to
that's why.
invent and
Like the
excel.
depth of the field is so great now that
Yeah, it
it
takes way
wasn't
more
so it was
time
a
and
lot
work
more shallow
to
back
catch
then,
up.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
I think that's
context
why
of,
we.
yeah, go, sorry. Yeah.
I think that's why we don't have Einsteins anymore or Newtons or people like that because the doors have already been busted down and the scope has been broadened. And so when the whole thing gets brought, it's like with music too. It's like there's only so much of that music path that needs to get unlocked. But before you're in like the 20th century and you have all these blossoming genres, it's like this huge thing now. Uh,
Hmm.
it's like how many Chopins can there be in music?
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's not infinite. I don't think it's an infinite thing. I think
Yeah.
I
a
think it's
couple hundred
I
year
think it's
journey
infinite, but I
that
think it's
happens.
not good. It's not necessarily good, right?
Well, like okay, then like what's the length? How much meaningful? So
Mhm.
rephrase that question, but make it like okay, how much of it can be meaningful? You know,
Right,
like from
right.
Bach to WC or show tunes or whatever. That's the thing. It's like my own taste is telling me when to end the timeline. But like people
Mhm.
could be saying you should go from Bach to dubstep because dubstep's genius and I love it. I don't say that, but people
Yeah,
could say
yeah.
that, right?
So yeah, if you took Leonardo da Vinci today, if he lived in today's world, maybe if he didn't have, let's say, the patience to like study all the things to the max of the state of the art at the
Yeah.
time, he might have been
Yeah.
actually nobody, because then that would have
Right.
barrier of entry of needing to have learned and memorized it, studied all these things before being able
Right.
to explore those things, might have been. And in a way, that might actually be kind of like how talent works as well, because it's like if someone is able to invent something, then they would have
Mhm.
had, and then if that's already invented, then their aptitude for absorbing that thing is going to be faster, because if they hadn't existed,
They
they
would have
would have
invented it.
invented it, right?
Yeah.
So that's
That's
actually a
genius.
really good
Yeah.
barometer for like
Good
if
point.
someone is picking up things quickly. That's why someone who's picking up things quickly may have more aptitude for um, discovering things further past where the line is. But the line is only contextual. It's only where you just happen to live in the time when this is what people have discovered so far.
Yeah.
So it's kind of luck because it's like the things that might be intuitive
Oh
to
yeah.
you, it's
It's
complete luck
definitely
if that thing's been discovered yet. It's
yeah.
kind
Right.
of that is definitely luck, but I mean you can choose where to explore the unknown. You are told what is known and what isn't known. So once you know what is known and what isn't, you can kind of choose where you think your talent is going to, where you feel like your barometer is picking up the most, and where that would be the way that I would say strategically. At least that's how I think too. When I'm like thinking like, what am I interested in exploring that I feel like I would have a good gauge on being able to actually find something that's valuable, or
On the
interesting.
subject of exploring, it's interesting because at least in the early, like with the great geniuses and stuff, at least in music, because
Hmm.
this is what I do. Music is my thing, and I guess science too.
Dude,
But
same. Just kidding.
it's like
Yep.
the doors get opened by the people, these geniuses, right? And
Hmm.
they're not geniuses because they're trying to be geniuses. They're not trying to say I'm gonna be the game changer. They're
Hmm.
basically following their own instincts. They're doing their own thing, and because they're the right
Intuition.
person at the right time, at the right place, it broadens it opens up the world in a way that they might not were even trying to do. It's just like, well, I'm just being myself. It seems
Well,
like
I'm
all
just
geniuses
I'm just
do
taking
is
things
be
to
themselves.
natural conclusions. At least
Right.
that's
Yeah.
literally what I do. When I'm talking
Yeah.
about all this stuff, I am just thinking about something, going like, well, what's the natural conclusion I can take this to? Where is the
Yeah.
next place I could take this to? And
Right.
like, I mean, I don't really choose what hits my brain when I do that, but it's like that is just, and then that's just every person might see the angles that pop out to them differently, and that's how people
Yeah.
I think have different kind of like things that speak to them, or things that that are
Mm.
intuitive. And that's the whole thing with intuitiveness. I think intuitiveness is really what is going to pop out of the screen for you when you're presented
Yeah.
with information or something. And then talent is that something that's what's intuitive is what state of the art is, maybe in sync with how reality works, or is really interesting to people in the context that we're in currently. That might be kind of a way to also narrow down and frame talent,
Yeah.
or genius.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is I'm a
Yeah.
genius, guys.
I mean, genius just is
Just
talent.
kidding.
It's the same thing. It's just more of it.
Mhm.
I would say I would qualify it with it's the right kind of talent for a time and place. To
There is
push
luck
something forward.
involved. Every
It's
single
like
person who is incredibly
yeah.
successful says there's talent involved. They say I'm
Well,
incredibly
of course.
lucky,
It's like
which
what
is
I'm saying is like
true.
the word genius is kind of overused. Somebody like Beethoven or Chopin, they were extremely talented, and their specific kind of talent that they possessed was just the right thing for that time and place.
Yes.
That's why
Yes,
we
it
talk
was
about them,
such a
right?
phenomenal contrast in a positive direction from what
Yes,
was
yes,
currently around.
exactly, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, think about Steve Jobs.
Well,
What if Steve Jobs was born in a time when the iPhone already existed, or touchscreens already existed, and his
Right.
idea was
Would he call him a
touchscreens?
genius?
Well,
Right.
now
Exactly.
touchscreens is no longer an advantage just because that's
Exactly.
intuitive for him to absorb.
Yeah.
It wouldn't give him that edge
well,
to be that person
Yep.
he is.
I'll give you like a perfect example, Joel. We, I won't say who it is, but we both know a composer now who I believe if he was around Chopin's time, we would be studying him right now.
Hmm.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
Maybe.
like I think he's that good personally,
Yeah.
but that's just my opinion. But
Yeah. Yeah. And that's fair.
Yeah, context is
the
a
general public
plays
doesn't
a
really
huge role.
care nowadays, right? It's because
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
the time we live in. Yeah.
Yeah. It's you know, but we live in a different time.
Case in point, by the way, is that like if we already have something, we're not interested in that having more of that same thing is not interesting really that much. But if it's fresh, if
Right.
it's new, it is, which is back to the
Yep.
whole business arts thing where like the business is like looking to look at what already worked and recreate it, and the artist is going, what's next that hasn't been done yet? that I can pursue and explore. So it's like
Yeah.
totally opposite, and that's why it never works. The remakes of films and stuff, it just doesn't work because it already exists. It's too late.
It's been done.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter's been done. It's too late to make Harry Potter.
The,
But it's
the,
not
the
too late to make something that isn't Harry Potter. So go make that.
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, pastiches are fine. Here's the thing, like pastiches are fine, but there's a limit to them. There's a limit to a pastiche, I think, naturally. If you don't find a new context for it, so, like, I'll give you an
Right.
example. John Williams's style is not original. He adapts it from old stuff, but he applies that with his incredible gift for tune to a new medium and makes something brand new out of that. The film
New
thing,
context.
brand new context. So the style is old, but his tunes are new and the context
Yeah.
is new. And he did something magical in the world with that combination. And, so there you go. That's my spiel.
Yeah. No,
The
totally
Japanese
agree.
guys do the same thing. The like Koji Kondo and like what's his name? Nobuo Uematsu. They're not really using like original harmonic language. The tunes, it's all Western and stuff. They're applying this. Also, they use like orchestras. They're applying this stuff to games and making a whole new context.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
totally.
some of that stuff is brilliant and genius.
I mean, you could say the same about visual art too. Visual art's like how it might have evolved and how you might use the same style from like some other time and apply it in film, apply it in some other medium, in games or something,
Yep.
and you might get a totally different result or perspective.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Like the context is just the craziest weapon in the world. For you could be honestly a pretty unoriginal person. All you have to do is just find some kind of combination of something that already existed before and take it out of its context, put it in a context that no one expects it in or no one's seen it
Yeah.
in, and then just make it work. And if it makes it work, it'll look like you're a genius. And you literally didn't create anything new. You just borrowed an idea from somewhere else that had nothing to do with this other thing and mashed the two together and found a way to make it compelling and resonate with people. And congratulations, you just borrowed something and made it this original. It feels original because it doesn't feel like anything we felt before. It's not
I think that is
comparable because
original,
the
though.
context is so much affecting the thing. It's so transformative that it just is a long forgotten old. The whole thing of like original is
Well, you're
something
just
original is
taking the
not
same
new.
colors and doing a new painting.
Right.
Well, I think if you can do
We're
that,
all
then
Bob
that
Ross,
counts.
guys.
But I think
Yeah.
that counts. I think, Tyus, I think what you said counts. If you do that, you
That
said
is
you can
I
do
do
all
think
this
it
and not
counts.
be original. I think doing that
That is
is being
original.
original.
That is
That is
being
being
original.
original.
I agree.
If you
I
can
agree.
synthesize something new out of old elements,
Yeah.
that
Well,
congrats, you've
because
done.
everything's
Yes.
a copy, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's nothing
Yeah,
except
in
the
that
original.
frame, there is no originality because you've now redefined originality into just like that. That is literally what everyone is doing. I would say that is for sure a blanket thing of like everyone is
Yeah,
doing that.
even
The
fucking
like the
Chopin
beaming
did
even
that.
ideas into your head, you just don't know the origins of the idea, but they are from something
Yeah.
that already you're experiencing.
Yeah.
You're just taking it from a
Y-
context of I dreamed it, or like I don't know, like dreams also move things out of context into something else. Like that is the recontextualization is like the entire fun of this. Like the arts pursuit, I would say, boils down to that. That is context, 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 and just changing the two, swapping them around. You get everything, everything.
And
Yeah, me and Joel were
sometimes,
just talking about
yeah,
this with Chopin.
sometimes,
He,
yeah,
yeah,
sometimes, and some people are better at doing it than others. So, like Chopin
yeah,
was an elite level talent. The people around him who were like the second rate people, like Hummel,
yep.
basically this same exact harmonic language, same exact kind of melodic thing that he was doing, but not at the elite level that Chopin's brain was capable of doing. So he was synthesizing stuff, yeah, but he was doing it at a higher level, to a higher
Yeah.
quality.
Compiling film, yeah. Compiling
Yeah,
film is all about thinking about a shot that you have of a background, being like, I'm going to put it in this context of someone in front of a green screen. Like, you have to do so much acrobatics as a director of like, I am taking this thing that's completely out of, I'm looking for a background, I'm going to now go somewhere that's maybe 2 feet away, and going to put in the context of it being a totally different like world, or like a miniature of something being shot in a way that makes it look like it's supposed to be like this, like, you know, like Harry Potter, the castle is a miniature, it's a camera shot of a miniature, but you're trying to compel people to believe that this is not a miniature, that this is a real castle and everything, and you're trying, like, context is the entire game for film especially as well. I'm just realizing this now. I put that together. It's wild.
all the
It's
art
actually
forms.
wild. And that's about all the brain power I have for this stream.
You know,
I will
you
say.
can, I need to go say hi to some friends over in the hall, and then we can start doing some
Oh yeah.
gaming. What do you say?
Yeah.
Do you want a game today?
Oh yeah. Well, we'll pause
Okay.
here for sure for the stream. Yeah, thanks Arie for joining. I'm glad we got this chat. I
Yeah,
hope you're happy with
sure.
us getting to some of these things.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
Joel,
thank you
thanks for
having me.
joining.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. Probably
All
call it
right.
there.
Nice.
Peace.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.